some more guests here momentarily. We'll get started in about 3 minutes.
There we go.
I will be behind the skull tonight because I look like shit. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about somebody that has a birthday coming up.
Oh no! Is this a setup of some type?
Becky's 23rd is coming up. She's going to be 23.
Do you mean 200?
Fresh out of high school. Ready to start her life
Fresh out of high school, huh?
with Vince. The white picket fence. There it is. It makes it rhyme. The white picket fence with Vince.
There
Hey,
you go.
Shinobi.
Shinobi, what's up? Amanda Lewis in the house. Amanda, what's up? I heard there's going to be a cheetah coming into the stream here in a minute. In just a minute. Here he is, the cheetah.
The
So, ladies and gentlemen, he likes long walks on the beach.
Oh,
And
there you go.
it's Cheetah Paladin.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Wild Eye Guy 85 is in the house too. Derek, did you get a link? I heard you want to come on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I sent the link to Derek's Instagram.
Okay. So in case you didn't know it, we're celebrating Horror Spice Becky's 23rd birthday tonight.
Oh, 23. Happy birthday, Becky.
Her and Vince are going to be celebrating and starting the new. It's called The White Picket Fence with Vince.
Wow. that sounds pretty spicy. Now, Vince and Becky, you got that wheel set up just right, for that big drawing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, I hear people are trying to make sure that I win the hot sauce. That's nice.
No, that's a myth, Hobbs. We wouldn't do that to you, buddy.
You're trying to put me out of my misery before I even hit 40 years old. Everybody say hello to Amanda Lewis. She's a new horror member of the community. She's got about 38 subscribers. She's got a couple videos up.
She will have.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
She will
Amanda.
have more.
Hi,
She will
Amanda.
have
I'll
more.
have to check that out.
She's from around my parts of town. She's close to where I'm from, near Dayton, Ohio.
Did Derek not get the?
Oh, wow.
Did Derek get a hold of? Oh, there he is.
How you doing?
What's up, Derek?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, Shinobi.
Hey, Shinobi.
How you
There
doing?
he is. Rock.
We're gonna try to keep it around 4 or 5. I've noticed that whenever we get to 6, like it gets chaotic and people start throwing stuff and it starts getting crazy and you can't hear anybody and fights
People
break
start
out.
invading the Capitol and... Oh, hey, Steven.
Steven, what up?
Hey, Traveling Gypsy.
Traveling Gypsy, holy shit. Welcome.
Yeah. Looks like some of the van life people came out to
Yeah.
visit you, huh?
That's right.
Papa.
How's everybody's weekend been?
Pretty good.
Been pretty good.
Can you guys hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. So we have an array of topics, but the first segment and the first, subject of the chat tonight is going to be Becky's birthday. It's going to be on the 19th, which is, I believe, Tuesday, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Monday, Tuesday.
So everybody say a big happy birthday to Horror of Spice. Go subscribe to her if you've not, please. Her events. And
Still got
if you
the
want
contest
to-
going on.
You can do a shot tonight of any type of spice you want. I'm not going to do one again tonight, but I hear that Patrick may.
Oh, really? I think only the winners, horror YouTubers, finalists get to taste that sauce.
Not tonight. Not unless I get a good kick here. I've been working my ass off all week. I don't know if I can handle it.
How's the new job?
That's exactly what you need. You need a little shot of hot sauce to spice things, to wake you up.
Well, the thing is that when I drive like that for that DoorDash, that's just my second job. I do have a full-time job, but I do that to kind of support my habit. My habit
You
is
just
not
started your
smoking
full-time
cigarettes.
job, didn't you? Didn't you switch jobs?
I did, yeah. So the horror movie habit is going to be funded by the DoorDashing thing. Most people have cigarettes or deep alcohol addiction. Mine is horror movies. So,
I don't know.
As long
Hey,
as
Larry.
you keep the killing on the screen and not in real life.
Okay.
what's up, Larry? What's up,
Oh,
Nathan?
Patrick.
Hey, Nathan.
sorry.
Right?
Patrick.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a copy of Triggered if you want it.
A copy of what?
Triggered from Wild Eye? You said you wanted to see that movie.
Triggered.
Oh, Triggered. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about that.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, on Instagram. Just send us your information. We can send that out to you.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'll
Yeah,
give you a
that's
co. I'll review it and give you guys a co-credit and a shout out.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, let's do that.
And Meredith Muller's fun to look at.
That's what you keep saying.
Okay.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's what triggered me to get it. To want to get it.
I like your selection this week for the Grindhouse feature, that Hellride movie.
Hell yeah. Do you like that?
It's been so long since I've seen that, I forgot a lot about it, except I do remember Leonora Varela, who is just smoking in anything she's in. She was in Blade 2.
She definitely is.
Yeah, she was in Blade Part 2. She was in movie with Casper Van Dien, King Solomon's Mines. She was in that. And she was in the Cleopatra movie with Billy Zane, too. But she looks good in everything she's in.
I don't understand the hate for that movie. I really don't. I thought it was, for somebody that doesn't do a lot of directing, I thought that movie was fantastic.
Well, he made a movie way back when that I think was hugely influential on Tarantino. So Tarantino produced that, and the dude was in Kill Bill too. But I think Tarantino had wanted to get his career back on the path to success, but that movie just didn't click. And I think what it was is because Tarantino's name was on it, people were expecting something else. And I remember at the time it was hyped up, but then it just kind of fell flat. But yeah, I really do need to revisit that because it probably wasn't as bad as people say it was.
Well, I mean, if you look online, there's a lot of people that off the negative reviews that really liked it. Like a lot of people gave it like an 8 or 9. I gave it an 8 or 9. I just thought it was well done. I don't know. Maybe I was in a mood that night. But I don't have a flaw in it. I really didn't. I really enjoy. Well, every movie has some flaws, most of them, but I didn't for Hellride. I didn't.
There are movies that drop with expectations, and sometimes you have to remove yourself years later after all the hubbub. I think like Prometheus was one of those movies where there's just expectations. Oh, it's going to be an Alien prequel, and then people have an expectation, doesn't meet that. But if you go years later and kind of remove yourself from it, it's really good on its own. So yeah, I definitely need to watch Hellride again.
Well, what's up, that sounds, Larry D and the Haddonfield Slasher in the house, Interweb Kaiju? Go ahead, Patrick. I'm sorry.
I was going to say a lot of the movies now, that's what happens. They get announced, like the new Terminator movie. Everybody gets hyped. Everybody gets hyped for the new Alien movie, and then whatever. And then it comes out, and the expectations are like it's supposed to be the greatest thing since Citizen Kane. And then when it doesn't pay up to what people expected, it gets crushed. And it's like, I think people come in, I think the media hypes up things way too much. Sometimes it's better to lower expectations and let people be surprised than to overhype it and they have them come out going like, wow, that sort of sucked.
Right.
I thought it was going to be awesome, but it wasn't all that good. But then when you go back, like you said, you go back and you rewatch it, and sometimes a movie is really good. It's so much better. And like for me, like in my case, when I rewatched Justice League, I was just blown away with how bad it was.
I will say 9 times out of 10, I go back and revisit something, and it is much better than I remembered. But I will say the DC universe is very, very polarizing, and sometimes first impressions are spot on with those movies. Yeah, some of those are hard to watch.
Yeah, they really are. But but the horror movies are the same way. Like I never really buy into the hype. I always just want to go see what it is by myself. So I clear my brain away from what everybody else is, and then I go in and see it just for me.
Right.
And a lot of times that's how movies. I don't have high expectations, and I'm not going to get really low expectations.
So yeah, Larry D, we've been doing a lot of hot sauce talk. We've been drinking hot sauce on the chat, taking shots, and it's been interesting.
That really is Hobbs' head today, for real. That's gold. That's what happened after he had some of that ghost pepper. So this is really Hobbs out there you're looking at.
Burnt the flesh right off him.
I mean, I'll do what I got to do.
Wild eyes, hot
you
sauce
guys
shark.
can see the mug next week after I've not worked 90 hours a week.
Hi, David. Hey, Sam.
What up, Dave?
That's
David
actually a
Flora
good
in the
idea,
house.
hot sauce shark.
I love the concept of watching movies and then doing reviews with hot sauce. Like Becky and Vince, man, major props for that idea. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great.
I don't know though. Becky lately though, the last couple of hot sauces looked like she was just like, get me out of here.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, we were ready. You were ready last time. Yeah, that
actually looks good to me. The blueberry.
Yeah, I had the drink.
Is that the one that Hobbs is supposed to win, Vince? If you
No.
Oh.
This is a different one.
That's probably going to be worse.
It's ghost pepper and blueberry.
What the ghost pepper and blueberry? What the hell?
Lots of antioxidants in.
Yeah, put it on your pancakes.
Super healthy.
Well, if anything, I won't need to diet anymore after I do it. Jen's reviews from the graves is in the house. What's up, Jen and Christian?
Jen.
Stay tuned. We've got Corey Feldman coming on later, and
Corey Feldman. Is he finally going to reveal the big name celebrity that supposedly molested him and Corey Haim back in the 80s?
He already did that, but I don't think they were huge names. But there is one that's always thrown around. I'm sure you guys know.
There was some dude who was a bit player. He was an actor in some movies.
Yeah,
I do remember seeing something about him.
I heard he was in Lucas. Ghost pepper and raspberry. Damn, have you guys ever had that?
No,
but it sounds good.
So what do you guys got planned for your birthday? You guys gonna go out to do anything specific, or other than our contest? Or
We actually celebrated early. We celebrated early because my son is here.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm joint custody with my ex, so you go half and half.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't have any fraternal kids of my own. I thought I did once, but ended up not being. So I don't know much about that particular situation. I probably should have had more, but hey, the good Lord has his intentions.
You're quick to order those paternity tests.
That's right. That's right.
You end up with more.
I could have been on the show. Hobbs, you are not the father.
Well, I told you, Josh, about a couple years ago. I found out that I had a sister I never knew I had.
You know what? You mentioned that, but I didn't know that it was. I don't think you mentioned to me that you didn't know that you didn't have her. I wasn't aware of that part.
Yeah, I had absolutely no clue. I got a phone call a couple years ago in May from my younger sister who said that she got an email from this woman who said that she thought that she was related to us, that it was a sister. And so she says, I think we have a sister. And so she said, could you call our mother and ask her? So I did. I called my mother and I said, point blank, I said, did you ever give up a baby girl up for adoption? And lo and behold, after 50 years, she said yes.
Wow, that's intense, man. Congratulations.
Wow.
Well,
Oh.
it was what was really, really super bittersweet about this whole mess was the day that I found out was May 20th. And May 20th is also the day that my wife passed. So,
Wow.
so it's like I told her, I says, on any other single day, I would be really happy to like get this news. But of all the days for it to hit, this is not the day. It's like
Yeah.
But it was just really bizarre. You couldn't make you just can't make this shit up. But yeah, she's a total fangirl too. Never met her. Never
Did you
met
ask her if she's going to be on the stream tonight, or?
I'm going to ask her. I'm gonna ask her if she wants to stop by. I don't know what happened, but yours truly ended up in Facebook jail, and I have no reason why.
That's happened to me too. What up, Rick?
Oh,
I've been in Facebook jail twice, so I understand.
Yeah, I have no idea why. I'm like, why? Because they said that I created an event, and I'm going like, I didn't create any event. So, like,
you know what it was, don't you? They said we hear that you associate with Hobbs and Hobbs work. You're suspended.
Yeah, that's it.
You're in Facebook jail, Patrick.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't get any sort of debate or anything.
Sure.
It's just like, it says like I can post regularly, but I can't share anything. So,
Okay.
I've been in jail, I think 4 times this year.
Yeah. I have no idea. You believe me, if anybody ever comes up with a different, it's like MySpace. It's like once everybody found out that Facebook was going on, everybody bailed on MySpace. Now you're just waiting for the next person to come with another social platform, and everybody will leave a Facebook. That's how it works.
So I realized that this is a good thing to have this on Sunday nights because, everybody thinks about going to work and shit like on Monday. And I just remember Sunday nights always used to be the most dreadful night for me. Like the night before work, I was like, this is perfect to just be able to digress and just relax and just talk to people. It's like,
well, I lost my job due to COVID. So yeah, but I remember that. I remember those feelings. It's like, I just want to stay up. I don't want to go to bed because I know when I wake up in the morning, it's going to be time to go to work. And
exactly.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Sorry about your job, man.
It sucked anyway.
So we do have some topics tonight.
We do.
The Cheetah has a couple. I've got a few. Did you guys see my post on the community page about the new movie with Nick Cage in it? It's called Willie's Funhouse.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
Have you guys heard about that movie?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I saw.
I have not heard of that.
I saw a preview.
Go ahead, Vince.
I can't remember where I saw it. It was social media.
I mean, it looks like
Instagram or something like.
it's supposed to be like Chucky versus Nick Cage. So I'm curious what your guys
That'd be
thoughts on what a movie like that would be.
I think Cage is interesting. He's getting a lot of buzz because of movies like Mandy and The Color Out of Space. And I think the fact that he's attached to that is making people more interested in that movie than they probably would be otherwise if it was somebody else. I know it does me. I love Cage. I've always loved Cage. And some of the gonzo shit that he's been making over the past year, he's entering this sort of grindhouse phase in his career that I think is pretty interesting. So I'm excited for this. I mean, it looks like it's fucking bonkers, so it should be good.
I can't wait for it. Honestly, I like his movies, and I know that our friend Dave Maggot loves Nick Cage movies.
I like him too. I like
We've
him
been
when
big fans of Nick for a while.
I like him when he's a little bit more restrained, just a little bit more in control.
Yeah, I mean, he's been he's done this whacked out shit for years. If you go back and see Vampire's Kiss, which was a pretty good early movie he did.
Yeah.
He does see that. And some actors do this, like Pacino. After he did Scarface, he was always, chewing up the scenery in movies. If you go back and see the movies he did before Scarface, he was just way more reserved. Some actors reach that threshold where they do a certain kind of performance, and then everything they do after that performance is kind of like chasing that same thing. It's weird, but yeah, Cage is just doing all this gonzo shit here lately.
Yeah, Mechanical Toys coming to life, chasing Nick Cage. Crazy.
Well, it's like Five Nights at Freddy's, which is that popular video game, which is basically like Chuck E. Cheese come to life and killing people.
Now,
Five Nights at Freddy's. Good shit.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Did you guys enjoy that movie? Did you guys enjoy Banana Splits?
I did. I like that a lot.
I haven't seen that one yet. I've heard.
You never watched.
I have not yet.
Yeah.
I know they released it on Sci-Fi Channel a couple of weeks after after Warner Brothers released it. So I know there was a TV version of it, and then there was a rated R version of it.
Yeah, I would recommend people check that out if you haven't seen it. It was pretty fucked up. It's not what a lot of people would be expecting, I don't think. But I mean, anybody familiar with the old Banana Splits TV series from the 70s? It is literally those characters, and basically that show comes to life and starts killing people in real life, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
Can you imagine if it made a movie like Puff and Stuff going bonkers?
I would love that.
That would be interesting.
Some of that shit's so square. I mean, the only way you could really do anything with it is to either go full on stoner movie where it's just unapologetically you get fucked up and watch it, or just do something out of left field like make them killers and do a movie like that.
Reject Films in the house.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to take advantage of this situation to hype everybody up to the interview that Dan did on his channel. He interviewed the director and the writer of this new horror film called Bright Hill Road, and it's currently up on his channel. It's a great interview. Did a great job, Dan. And it's a brand new movie, and me and the Cheater, we watched it, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. It reminds me of the Dead Ones, but
yeah, to check that out.
Yep, Dan on Rejects Film, man, awesome interview.
Yeah.
So, what did everybody get to watch? What did everybody watch this week?
The New Kids.
Yeah, how was that? I haven't seen that in years. I saw that on HBO as a kid, but I forgot all about that movie until I saw your unboxing of that.
The New Kids is actually really well.
pretty good movie. I mean, for its time, I go. You know, you're looking at a very, very, you know, James Spader.
Right.
He's so young in there. It's like, oh my God, I'm so old.
You
Because
know,
I remember him
I
from
was-
that era.
yeah, he's always like an asshole in every movie. He's like, you know,
He is, but if you,
I just want to punch him in his
You
face in
know.
every movie that I see him in. I just want to just walk outside and just punch him right in his face.
oh yeah,
he
Yeah.
does
He
play
wasn't like
Smarmy
that
pretty well.
in every movie, though.
I can just see him walking by me and looking at me saying, Hobbs, I'm better than you.
I've seen some things about him though. Like he seems like a really. I don't think he's anything like that though.
I know. I'm just kidding.
But the thing
I'm
is,
just
I
having
mean,
fun.
no, he's been
I almost
typecast.
he plays that so well. I almost would have thought he was like that. I mean, how can you channel that so perfectly into every one of your
I know.
performances if you're not
That's
like
the
that?
thing.
Yeah,
When a heel is a heel and you want to just punch him in his face, that means he's a fantastic actor, which he is.
right.
And I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
What's up, Joe? Joe from Horror Man's in the house.
Uh,
Hey, Joe.
hey,
Amanda
Joe.
Lewis was asking, has
Joe.
anyone seen The Hug on Hulu? A movie called The Hug.
No.
No, I don't have Hulu.
Yeah, we don't have a.
That's a new one to me too.
So, Spice, what'd you guys watch this week?
The New Kids, bunch of thriller movies. Batman 66. Bionic Woman,
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
I still have Cowboy Bebop to watch. I
anime.
picked those up at a thrift over the summer and haven't gotten around to that yet. How was that?
It's really good. Just want to listen to it in dubbed English because the English is better than subtitles. It's weird. It's weird that it's like that. Because usually I'm a subtitle gal.
Yeah.
But then when I saw the translations, because I had listened to it in dubbed first, because that's all they had.
hmm
And then when I saw the translations, it wasn't as funny. So,
Lost in
it's
translation.
Cowboy Bebop. I mean, you can't really take it seriously. Not
Mhm.
too much.
How about you,
So,
Derek? What did you watch?
I took in a lot of YouTube. Just all my different interests. There were some. I'm big into. I'm not a tinfoil hat fucktard, but I'm into UFOs. And there were a lot of live streams this past week about CIA documents being declassified and that sort of thing. So I was interested in some of that stuff.
Right.
Watched Panther Squad, which is an old Sybil Danning movie. Watched Stay Hungry, which was Schwarzenegger. I watched that today, actually. Schwarzenegger, Jeff Bridges, and Sally Field. It was one of Schwarzenegger's very early movies. It was pretty good.
Was that a documentary or was that a real movie?
No, it was one of Schwarzenegger's very first scripted roles. And he plays second fiddle to
Adios,
Jeff Bridges and
Reject.
Sally Field.
Bye.
Bye, Reject Films. Thanks for stopping by.
But yeah, I found that on VHS over the summer, and I know Cody at H&S Collectibles. He's a big fan of Schwarzenegger. I mentioned it last night in the stream, and I realized that I really need to watch that now. So I watched that this afternoon.
For those
How
of you
was it?
joining late, it is Mrs. Spice's birthday. Make sure to wish her a happy 23rd birthday.
23. That's awesome.
23.
She's
And
just
Amanda
barely
Lewis,
drinking
yeah.
age.
Well, I bet you don't feel a day older than 22, though, right?
Oh, yeah. How about a few decades on there? Doing it.
Oh,
Thank you, Tim.
well, I watched a lot this week. I watched a movie called Cold Skin. That was really good. That was directed by Xavier Gens, and I'm a big fan of his work. I watched one of his other earlier movies called The Crucifixion, and then he produced my second favorite movie from a couple years ago called Hostel. Hostel was awesome, and so Cold
Oh,
Skin.
yeah.
Yes,
Not
that was
the
really
Eli
good.
Roth Hostel.
No. This is Hostel. Hostile.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope you're not talking
Yeah.
about that piece of shit called Hostel by Eli Roth.
Yeah.
You don't like Hostel?
You know what? Yeah, I tell you what ruined Hostel. What ruined Hostel was when you saw Rick Hoffman in there. Now, he's as soon as you saw him in there, it just took you just like, cause he's got that he always plays a real smarmy. He always plays really smarmy roles. He was in that show called Suits.
Mm,
He
I know
played
of that. I've never seen it.
yeah, he played
What's
a real
up, Tim
smarmy.
Hayes and Creepy Calvin? What's up?
So I watched Cold Skin, and that was really different. I really liked that quite a bit. Beautifully done. And then I watched the Wicked and the Dark and the Wicked. That was an interesting movie too. That was different. It's hard to say really what it is without giving too much away. And but it's really good. I heard people talk about how they didn't see any creature in the movie, that's not true. It's all over the movie, and you just have to be looking for it. The ending sort of fucked up, but the movie itself is really good. And
Baytown Outlaws.
yes, I watched the Baytown Outlaws, which was a hell of a lot of fun.
I wanted to watch that so you and I could talk about it because you said you were watching that. I didn't get around to it though.
Yeah, you know what? We'll rewatch it. We'll have to do that because I do a lot of action movies. I do a ton of action movies. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched An Evening with Kevin Smith, which I put on my YouTube channel. You can see how that went with Paladin. Let's see. What else did I watch? I watched. I actually watched a few things for this stream, and I watched an action movie called Blue Ridge, and with Jonathan Schreck, and he did the second Roadhouse movie, and he also did the second 8mm movie.
Ex-husband of Christine Applegate.
Yes. And it was a good movie too. Fun.
Roadhouse, in case anybody does not know, this is one of my all-time favorite movies of all time.
It is a damn fine movie. It's almost a perfect movie.
Agreed.
It really is.
And people still shit on it. It's unbelievable.
Who shits on Roadhouse? Roadhouse is beloved.
Yeah, nobody. I don't know anybody who shit on Roadhouse.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, there is a copy of Roadhouse out there where Kevin Smith does the commentary with, I want to say with Richard Kelly, the guy who directed Donnie Darko. The two of them do the commentary track on it, I believe. Because Kevin Smith is just a huge Roadhouse fan.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Mm.
Well,
What's crazy is a lot of the effects in that film are legit. Like a lot of those fights were actual fights. Like Patrick Swayze, a lot of those fights, people actually got hurt in them, and it was just it was just fantastic. I agree with you. I don't have much of a flaw at all in that film. I think it's a damn near perfect movie. I really do.
I remember when that sequel came out years ago. I was like, what the fuck? And I forgot a sequel even existed to that until you just mentioned that, Patrick.
Yeah. No,
I never watched it. I had no desire to see the sequel.
I won't watch it. I have so much love for the first one. I don't want to be upset.
Well, it was funny is that the gentleman who played the bartender, the one who got fired for hitting up on the young girl, that was singer John Doe, and he was in a band called X.
Yeah.
One of the
Wait, what was his name?
John Doe.
Wait, what was his name?
John Doe. D-O-E.
So who was he? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, he was a member of X, which was a premier American punk band, one of the founding punk bands. And yeah, and I got to book his band, and so we get to talk Roadhouse for a bit. And you were right, Derek. Those fight scenes were full speed most of the time.
Yeah. Well, you can't fake the funk. I mean, that movie looks legit. And
Yeah,
I think Patrick Swayze was everything you see about him. It seems like he was kind of a perfectionist. I mean, there's some talk that comes out that he was maybe difficult to work with, but I think he wanted to, do something right. If he was going to do it, he was going to do it right. And you can kind of see that in his movies.
Yeah, he battled himself. He battled himself a lot during his career. He had a really bad drinking problem, and which I saw in the documentary "I Am Patrick Swayze," and they talked about that. His wife talked about that, and how he almost lost his whole career. He had to leave L.A. to go to New Mexico for a solid year just so he could dry out.
Mm. Yeah, I didn't even know until recently that he was an alcoholic, because you look at Patrick Swayze, there was never an ounce of fat on him, and you just think that dude was super healthy, eating bean sprouts all day long and exercising. You just never really consider somebody like him hitting the bottle or doing drugs or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Oh, we lost Hobbs.
No.
I'll be right back. I want to see if I can find something to show you, Patrick, because you'll like this.
So tomorrow I'm making a run down to my last run. My last run, I'm making it down to Family Video. It's
before they close.
Yeah. I talked to my friend and I asked her, what was left, and she says there's not very much that's left. And so I said, okay, I'm going to come down to see you. And then I'll see what's else on the shelf. But I don't know how or what I'm going to do as far as getting new releases. There's nothing left around here.
I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, we get ours through the mail. We order ours online.
Yeah,
they're cheaper than what they are in the stores.
Yeah, I signed up for I signed up for eBay yesterday, and some of those prices are pretty good. But of course, some of those shipping prices are loopy.
Have you looked into Hamilton Books?
Yes, I do pursue Hamilton. They do got some good deals. Definitely, it's a good place to go.
Did you say you just signed up for eBay now?
Yeah, because I mean, I've used Amazon. Well, I mean, what does everybody in the chat use? Does everybody in the chat? What do you prefer? I mean, if you're going to use a service, do you use eBay, Amazon, Hamilton Book? I know that Deep Discounts has been having a hell of a time lately.
I've been on eBay for 20 years now.
We actually use like kind of a mishmash. It's kind of depending on what we're looking for. Hamilton Books doesn't necessarily have the new releases. So if we're looking for something more abstract and stuff, we go to Hamilton Books.
I went to eBay yesterday because I was looking at the Jack of Hearts figure that Derek told me about, and then I was also looking for the fourth season of Haven. I couldn't believe what I was seeing on eBay for a Haven. Some people were asking for $40 for the fourth season for a show that went off the air like 3 years ago.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, some people will put things
ridiculous.
on eBay at ridiculous prices and just let it sit there. And I guess maybe they figure at some point somebody will pay that amount, but they kind of just put it out there and forget about it and have it be like an auction that'll just renew itself once it ends. But
okay.
I mean, you can use. I mean, I
There
use
was an
Amazon
old TV
too.
show. There was an old TV show called Pretender, and I got all 4 seasons, 25 a piece on eBay.
25 a
Because it was
piece.
so out of print. It was
Was
out
that
of
what it
print.
was? I got the first 2 seasons of that show, and I looked at the other seasons, and I saw there people were asking 40, 45, $50 for it.
I mean, don't forget you have Facebook
We had to
Marketplace
get
now
ours
too. I'm
on
hearing
there.
a lot of good things. People having good luck on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I have to explore that. I know one of my buddies on Instagram is doing really well off that. Platex. Man, he's always getting some really good deals off Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
My monitor's sleeping all the time.
But yeah, I just shop around. If there's something I want, I'll look all over for the best price.
Yeah, I got to be careful
He does all the
I
price checking.
yeah, I can't go to the I can't go to the stores. You know, if anybody watches my haul videos, I mean, I truly am on a budget. So I don't go out and buy. That's why I don't buy a lot of those boutique stuff. You know, like Arrow
No.
yeah, I
same
can't
here.
afford that. Yeah, I
Same
can't afford
here.
that.
I mean, those are works of art, but I'm really down with the movies. There's just like so many movies that I want to see. I don't care if they're on standard DVD, VHS, Blu-ray. I just don't have the money to buy big box sets for movies that I already have.
Let's see. Joe saying he uses everything. Mr. Mihook says he uses everything. Yep.
Tim says Amazon and eBay.
Yeah.
You know what else you can do? If you go on the Barnes & Noble website, Barnes & Noble uses third-party sellers as well. So you might find some people selling shit on there cheap too.
I'm going to say my next time. I didn't do this last time. I probably should have, but I really didn't. But I will next time. The next time they do the Criterion sale, I'm gonna hit that with both feet. I have like 6 gift cards. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself some Criterion.
Oh yeah, I did get some of those. I got the Irishman and I got the Bruce Lee set from last fall. But yeah, those are.
Oh, funny!
Criterion
He bought me the Irishman for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, Criterion.
Ben from
I
Cadaver
love
Club,
that movie.
Ben from Cadaver Club, he was saying how because I know the Godzilla Criterion went out, and I thought they included every single Godzilla all the way up to Final Wars, you know, or even Shin Godzilla, and he says that only went up to 1975, and I think they're asking for $200 for it. I'm like, wow. For $200, I think you need to throw in every single Godzilla movie on there.
For me, they better throw in Godzilla with it. I'm not paying $200 for that. Actually, I might.
Yeah, it better come with an 18-inch NECA figure.
And it better be spitting fire.
I mean, some of these you're paying for the label name, and Criterion's one of those. They do make beautiful product, but you know, it gets to the point where it's like a pair of designer jeans almost. You're paying for the label.
Yeah, that you definitely are. I see a lot of the re-releases from the boutique labels, and it's just like they look beautiful. I mean, but like $50 for the Tremor release for the first movie. For the first movie plus a ton of extras, and they're asking for $50 for it. I know it's a demand. I mean, the people want it, so they'll pay for it, so they get charged for it. But I'm just thinking, you know, I don't know. It just prices a lot of people out, like myself, you know.
It's like, how many movies haven't I seen that I could get for that same amount of money?
Yeah. I mean, if I had a way, if someone says, what would you do? Would you rather have a $150 Tremor box set from Arrow, or would you rather have 50 blind buys at a Dollar Tree? I'm going to go with the blind buy. Yeah. I'm going to go with the quantity. I'm sure I can find something. I'm sure I can find a lot of good movies blind buy. That's how I operate my film collection budget.
Yeah, like Wild Eye Guy saying you could. I mean, a thrifty shopper could spend $50 and get all 7 Tremors movies, standard
Yeah.
edition or Blu-ray probably, and get something else to boot. But I mean, if somebody's really into Tremors, God bless. But man, I can't spend that kind of money like that.
Oh God, no. So, I mean, I
We
love
wouldn't have
Gamera.
any money for any other movies. You just
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I love
We
Gamera.
review things on our channel. We can't, do all that.
Oh no. I mean, I see people whip out their, they whip out those really beautiful box sets, like even the Friday the 13th box set. But it's just like, that's just insanity to me. I just couldn't see spending that kind of money. But I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand that, the collectors do it. And so I get it.
One thing about you and me, Patrick, though, is like we're in the horror community, but I don't think you and I are like focused on horror. And I totally get it. Like if I was really into the horror and like that was my primary focus, the Friday the 13th would have been awesome because that was a thing of beauty. But yeah.
If someone gave me a choice, they said, what box set would you want to get right now if we could give it to you? And I'll be honest with you, it'd be Godzilla. I would take Godzilla in a heartbeat, but no, I wouldn't. You're right. I'm more diversified that way. I mean, I watch so much more than just pure horror.
Yeah.
You would take Godzilla over the Friday box set?
Honestly, if Godzilla was up to Final War, all day. But
let's take a poll. In the chat, would you take the Godzilla box set or the Friday box set?
Okay, I see Ben here, so Ben will be taking Godzilla. So that's 3 people. Enter Kaiju Casey's here, so that'd be another Godzilla guy. That's 4 Godzillas right there.
Has everybody seen the newest Tremors?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, we have. It's good.
Larry take Godzilla. And Steven would take Godzilla too. Yeah, I got you, Casey.
We reviewed that Tremors and the last Tremors on our channel, and I liked it a lot. It brought back some old, brought back Bert and everything kind of from the beginning, but different land. The only thing you gotta worry about though is that it is CGI.
Right.
Can I ask one quick question since we got him here?
Usually Tremors didn't use CGI.
I think.
But in this one, they kind of had to.
Didn't the very first movie use practical effects?
Yeah, I think they all did up until recent years.
They all did, except for the very last one.
Yeah,
I always thought it looked like a giant burrito.
Ass blasters have always been. Ass blasters have always been CGI,
Really?
except for a few scenes here and there.
Because the graboids, the little hoppers, the ones on the legs that they introduced a few films back, I think those are pretty much CG. They had to.
Oh, that's
David.
Yeah.
David's ass has not been blasted, he said.
It's really good done.
Go ahead, Becky, I'm sorry.
Really well done. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you think I don't want to give spoilers away to somebody who hasn't seen the movie, but do you think Bert will be back?
No.
I plead the fifth.
Do you have inside?
I don't know, because there's been weirder things on this series.
Yeah, because I mean, they had the whole funeral and send off and everything, but there wasn't really a body, and
yeah, exactly, because we know Bert, It's kind of hard to say.
I can't imagine a Tremors movie without Bert.
I can't either.
Yeah,
Napoleon Dynamite can't fill those shoes.
No.
I mean, even if Kevin Bacon came back and did it, unless they had Bert there, it wouldn't be the same. It just wouldn't.
Dave,
No,
Bert's and
has
Tremor.
to be Bert.
Bert
He's also
Gummer.
been a constant vocal point for the whole series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bert.
He was also one of the
He's your
greatest
main
dads
guy,
ever in TV.
basically.
He was, yeah.
He was
I mean,
Michael P.
he
Keaton's
was
father, and
he was the Van Helsing of all those Tremors movies. He was the Peter Cushing. That's like doing a Christopher Lee vampire movie without Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. You can't do it.
Oh, I know. No.
Alex P. Keaton.
He's
That's
a
right. That's what I had
Popeye.
to say. Alex P. Keaton's dad. I love Family Ties, man. Like
I used to love that too.
one of the greatest series ever. Alex P. Keaton. Man, what a fantastic show. I just watched the whole entire series like 2 months ago.
Oh wow.
That was on a lot of years. That was a deep dive.
Yeah, I think worth it on like 10 years.
Something like that.
Yeah. Binge watching's a lot of fun. When you get a good series and you binge watch it, that's a lot of fun.
I think Hobbs likes Tina Yothers.
Not saying it couldn't happen. You know, she was on Wife Swap.
Was she?
Yeah. Drew was in the house. Hey, Drew was in the house. Isn't that Devon Graham? Drew is in the house, folks.
So is anybody?
You know what I'm into right now? I've been watching a lot of Bonanza. I've watched every episode of Bonanza that comes on TV.
Wow. That was a good show.
I like the Rifleman.
Hell yeah. You know what? They have a YouTube video out. They have a YouTube video out that shows how many guys he plugged during the whole show.
Really?
He shot over 200 people.
Yeah. Because last night on Coast to Coast, Ben brought up the old '80s show Werewolf, which was on the Fox network in the late '80s. Really, really great show. You can find it on YouTube. I don't think it has a proper DVD release, but Chuck Connors was on that.
Yeah, I think that was like their whole debut of shows when they first became a network.
It was like Married with Children and Women in Prison and Herman's Head and Werewolf. Those were like the first wave. But it's a great show. Anybody who hasn't seen it, check it out on YouTube. It really does need a proper release. I'm surprised they've never done it. There must be a huge issue with the rights or something, because I think it would do gangbusters if they released it.
I do find
you guys,
it
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Huff.
Somebody asked the question, what was the creature's name in the movie Dreamcatcher?
Yeah, I was trying to think of that too.
I couldn't either. I just watched it, but I can't think of the damn name of it.
I think they brought that up because of the ass blaster, because there was that scene in the bathroom. But yeah, there was like, they called it shit something. It was like a shit monster or something like that. I can't remember. Do you remember Dreamcatcher? That one scene in the bathroom where it's...
Yeah, I remember
it comes out of the guy's asshole or something.
Yeah.
I can't think of the damn name of it though.
Is that the Stephen King movie you're talking about?
Yeah. And you know how Stephen King likes his shit jokes. So,
I only saw that movie once. I saw it once when it came out in the theater, and that was the only time I've ever seen it.
It's actually it gets overlooked a lot.
It's a good movie.
Shit Weasel from Dreamcatcher.
Shit Weasel.
Shit Weasel.
Okay.
Who said?
Yeah.
Larry.
Oh, Larry.
What
Hey,
up, Phil?
Hey, Tim.
Werewolf had a DVD release in France. Huh.
Yeah, sometimes the shows get released over in other countries and not here. I think a lot of it has to do with what you said about music rights and what have you.
Did you guys know that Teen Wolf had a cartoon? I did not know that.
I do vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I didn't know the Karate Kid had a cartoon.
I did know that.
Police
Yeah.
Academy
I
had a
didn't know the
cartoon.
Karate Kid had a cartoon. I did not know
Yeah.
about that as of now. Holy shit.
Yep, 13 episodes.
Police Academy and
Didn't
Toxic
last long.
Avenger.
Speaking of which, I have two cool things that happened the last couple days.
You.
I went and got my hair cut today, and there was a guy bringing his son in. His son was about 9 years old, and his son was wearing a Cobra Kai shirt. I thought that was unbelievable.
There's a big
Joe-
resurgence with Cobra Kai.
Show
I
us the
talked to him about it. I
haircut.
was like, your son's shirt is awesome.
Show us the haircut, Josh.
Did he do the leg sweep?
No chance. Not today. Next week, maybe. And then I found out one of my new coworkers is a girl named Lindsay, and her parents named her after Lindsay Wallace from fucking Halloween.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm named after Derek and the Dominoes because my
wow.
parents were hippies and they liked Eric Clapton. But yeah, so you just never know with that generation.
I was named after the orphanage my father was in.
What's that?
I was named after the orphanage my father was in.
Oh, St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent de Paul.
Yeah.
I named Paladin after Have Gun Will Travel.
Do you know Vince? Before I got to know you a little bit, I knew your name was Vince, and I know you texted me that one time, but I never really got the last name or anything. So I have you on my phone as Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer.
That's funny.
Good night, Larry. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. The tanks are looking good. Everybody go subscribe to Larry D's Tanks. He does a lot of good stuff. If you like fish tanks and aquariums and hot sauces, he likes hot sauces like the rest of us.
Oh yeah, I've been looking at that. We might be hitting up Larry. We've been hitting up you for some hot sauce connections.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, you
guys should do a versus.
Here we go.
You should do a versus, like a versus, like Larry D Spices versus Horror of Spice, like a challenge, like a spice off or some shit.
Why don't we make it a triple threat and toss you in there, Hob?
I don't know if you're wanting me to die young or.
I'll send you some donuts to take the sting away.
Hobbs can be the host on a special episode of Chopped. Anybody ever see Chopped on the Food Network?
I love Chopped. I watch
do
Chopped
too.
all the time.
Yeah, that's very creative.
That's pretty cool, Tim. The only problem with Chopped that I have is some of the ingredients. There's no chance I try to cook. There's no chance I could do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna have me throw in ants and make me cook with ants. There's no fucking way.
The thing that always gets me is the people that come in with a chip on their shoulder talking shit. And it's like, have these people never seen the show before? They come in there, they're talking mad shit, and they know they're going to get taken down.
Well, yeah, because they're asked to make like a grilled chicken wrap with like fucking cornflakes and I don't know, chicken broth. Like, it's crazy. Some of the ingredients they're asked to make, and they act like they're able to do it, then they get knocked out in the first round.
Because I would
we need to get Rick on there.
What show is this?
Chopped.
That's on the Food Network.
Oh, Chopped.
Yeah.
Hosted by
I
Ted
do
Allen.
watch.
Okay.
I do watch Halloween Wars as well. That's a good one.
We watch on Netflix. There's this show, and I forgot what it was called. But they have take things out of the fridge that are leftovers and turn them into something.
Yeah, it's a fairly new show.
I forget the name of it though.
Now, back when I was in college, to do to get a drink and stuff at parties, I would do trick shots, and there's no chance I could do it now. But like back then, I would do like 151 and like egg beaters and just stupid stuff, just stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Well,
So,
presumably you
never
stopped
know.
in college. I did it into my 30s.
Oh yeah. So you're saying I've
eating-
still got some time? Okay, I got it.
I'd get fucked up and eat bugs and do all kinds of jackass shit.
Oh God, jackass! Those guys were insane.
Me and my buddies were really into that. We used to try to mimic that shit.
Yeah, but it had a disclaimer every single time: "Don't do this shit. Don't do this shit." And people are still doing it.
Not only did we do it, we videotaped it and sold our videotapes to coffee shops.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I have tapes as well. I filmed all my college parties. I have them on VHS. Actually, I got them converted to DVD. Legitimately, I would throw a Halloween party every year, and I've got most of them on tape. Beer pong.
If my shit was never taped, I'd be canceled.
Yeah, I can't put it on YouTube. I thought about it, but I can't put it up. There's no chance. People stripping and shit. Ain't no way.
So I got an interesting question for you, for everybody here on the panel and the chat room. So if someone walked up to you and they're getting into horror for the first time, right? So they want to start collecting movies and get involved in the community. What would be 10 movies that you would recommend that they get first?
This person's not religious, are they?
No, anything. They're game for anything.
Okay.
Oh, of course, because I would turn around and tell them to get Antichrist. That'd be my pick.
Cannibal Holocaust. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Hey, would you?
I mean, Exorcist.
Yeah, definitely Exorcist.
Yeah, just horror, Joe. I mean, they just want to come up there and become the horror fan. They want to get into the game. And which 10 movies would you recommend that they get to start the collection off?
5 copies of a Serbian film, and the other 5 copies of Martyrs.
5 copies of the Serbian film. And where's Rick at? Is Rick still here? He's got some fucked up shit.
And 5 copies of the Human Centipede.
Yes.
The first person I would not ask to show would be Rick.
I think I already know Joe's first movie he's going to put up.
He's going to put up
120
Days of Sodom.
I think Joe's going to put out the Amityville Vibrator.
There you go.
It's like I said, can you imagine looking for that and asking about the shipping? Hi, yeah, I'm checking on my shipping for the movie Amityville Vibrator.
Well, hell, how about 5 copies of Human Centipede?
I would put the original Nightmare on Elm Street on there.
Yeah,
no
I would too.
Yes.
I definitely would put there's a. I know I like Phantasm more. I know I like Phantasm more, but I think I would actually go with the Evil Dead as being more essential.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
I mean, if you really truly had to get 10 movies, and as much as I like Phantasm, I think Evil Dead is more important.
No, I feel like you do need representation from a lot of different eras. Like Tim Hayes mentioned, Universal Classic. You want to put something in there from that era. Probably something from Hammer.
Yeah, but you got to have Phantasm in there in that 10, though. You have to, without a question.
A lot of people, I love Phantasm, but a lot of people don't get those movies.
Yeah.
I think because Phantasm has the element of sci-fi in it, that's science fiction in it.
Well, Phantasm doesn't explain itself. It's fucked up and it's all over the place, which is why I love it. But that's not some people's cup of tea.
Get Phantasm. Pepper the
Psycho,
Pinhead.
Psycho's a really good one.
Like without trying to be a dick, but I don't know how Phantasm cannot be somebody's cup of tea. That's just me, though. You know.
Oh no, I'm saying it's not. I'm saying like you only got it's like a 10 movies you got to pick. 10 movies. I mean, you know, are the 10 most, you know, like the most game-changing movies. Like I like Phantasm, but I don't think it really changed the horror genre. The Evil Dead. I mean, that movie got reviewed on Cisco and Ebert. I mean, it made a lot of noise.
I think I would do House by the Cemetery. Kind of represent 80s Italian horror.
Oh well, yeah.
I think The Fog is a good choice.
Read the signature from Phantasm.
Yeah, this
Which
is
one?
Reggie Bannister.
Oh,
Yeah, we got a signature from one of the guys in Phantasm.
Yeah,
Reggie.
Yeah,
Reggie
that's
Bannister,
awesome.
the ice cream truck driver.
Yeah.
What do you got? Do you think Suspiria will be in the top 10? You seem saying Suspiria.
Yeah, I see that. Suspiria.
I don't know. That's a polarizing one too. You want to pick things that are gonna expose them to a wide array of things without turning them off. Suspiria is awesome, but I don't know.
It might be too visual for a newcomer.
For a neophyte.
I like
That's later on down the road.
Yeah.
Ben put Rosemary's Baby up, and I would have to sit there and go like, you know, would definitely have to make the cut.
I think The Fog is a good one that kind of reps John Carpenter plus ghost stories, which need representation on the list. So I think The Fog is a good
one.
I think the original Fog.
Oh yes,
the new one.
No, not the new one. No, not the new one.
Lost Boys. I would put that on there.
That has to be on there. That's got to be in the top 10. Damn, Sinister is fantastic.
On there.
Okay, so do us a favor, everybody in the chat. After we get done doing stream, come back to once we load this up, and drop your 10 in the comment section. For next week, we'll discuss it, and we'll see if we'll put together a ultimate top 10 based on what you guys put in the comment box.
Creepy Calvin mentioned Sinister, and I think that's a good one because I got to be honest. Like when I first watched Sinister, I thought that was a damn scary movie, and I don't get really scared at movies anymore.
I have to agree with you. I feel the same exact way.
I've heard a lot of good things about Sinister.
You've not seen Sinister?
Sinister is really good.
Nope,
You've not seen Sinister, Patrick? Oh my God! Dude. I'll get a copy out to you.
Nope, I've not seen.
And the Witch and Hereditary were two other recent movies that gave me that same kind of feeling.
You just mentioned A24. You're out.
A24.
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Because I'm an ISD guy. I always feel A24's movies are overhyped, but that's me.
I get why Casey says that about the third act in Sinister, and the final scene in the movie is kind of it's like you just feel like the producers were like, okay, you got to put this final scene, and I won't say what it is, but right before the credits roll, I just feel like that was unnecessary. But yeah, I love Sinister. I think that's one of the best horror movies in recent years.
I cannot believe you've not seen that, Patrick. I just can't.
No.
I'm blown away by that.
Have you seen A Dark Song yet, Josh?
No.
Okay.
But I definitely want to see that one as well.
Yeah.
So you send me The Dark Song, and I'll send you a copy of Sinister.
I tell you what, I got a copy of Sinister. I will dig it up from the basement, and I will watch it in time for next week.
Oh, dude, you got to see it. It's fantastic. If I see it anywhere else
in your basement,
dude, he's got about 7,000 movies in his fucking basement. He has a whole fucking movie store in his basement.
There's probably Jimmy Hoffa in his basement buried under all those movies.
Don't mention that. I'll have the news crews outside my door covering it.
You'll have Geraldo with his handlebar mustache outside.
Terrifier.
Terrifier is a good recent movie, but I don't know if that would be a good one for the list.
Becky and Vince, what did you guys think of Terrifier? Have you guys seen that one?
We love Terrifier.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, but see, It Follows is amazing. It Follows is an amazing movie.
Yeah,
that would.
We actually have a statue of the Terrifier.
Oh, David Hoare, he's got a life-size one.
David Hart lives with Art.
The thing is that
And Sam.
see, Horror Spice is holding back. They've got some crazy shit, and I can't wait to see what else they present on the channel. I'm telling you, they've got stuff that we haven't even begun to see yet. I bet.
Yeah.
I believe it. I like the poster set up in the back there, and I see all the Funko Pops on the top shelf.
The reason it's only showing up that corner of the room is probably their entire place is probably done up of horror, and we just don't know about it yet.
Yeah, it is. It is actually. It's horror.
Hey, Trist, give me my machete. Make sure you grab it by the hand.
Whole box. Oh, that's right, because it's nailed.
It's
Be
a
careful.
bitch to hang up.
Don't saying the Terrifier was too complicated for him.
You have to move things out of your way, son.
It's the long case.
That's our list.
It can be a little bit complicated if for people. I can understand that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Terrifier is an awesome movie, but it's not scary.
Is it a horror comedy?
I don't know. Being cut from down at the face is pretty scary if you're the other sex.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
pretty painful to watch.
That whole pizzeria scene is pretty funny. Like when they're in the pizzeria and the girls are giving Art the Clown shit, and then the bathroom scene. I mean, that made me laugh. But there's one scene in particular which definitely isn't comedy, but yeah.
Yeah, I just thought about that. I was sitting there going like, what 10 movies would everybody like? Would like, you know, it's like I think Ben mentioned it was an impossible question, but I just think in your own mind, if you were just going up to somebody who came up to you and asked you what 10 movies would you recommend, it's just interesting seeing all the different answers.
Well, first of all, I'd say there's a pandemic going on. Get the fuck away from me. And then I'd say
Wear your mask.
yes.
Wear your mask.
There we go.
I would say
All right,
Aliens
another
horror.
one of our
See,
collections.
I tell you, they're holding out on us, guys. Here we go.
Oh wow!
Damn. Who signed? Is that Kane Hodder?
Machete with
Yes.
Kane Hodder.
I also have an 8x10. 11x14. Yeah, 11x14 of Kane Hodder.
Do you guys consider
Well,
Alien
actually,
a
it's
horror movie?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yes.
did. Yeah.
Too claustrophobic not to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it hits all the
Have you ever
beats for a
seen
horror
people
movie.
play that
It's almost
game?
Hitchcockian.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I want to buy that game because an Aliens game out that just, people said that they wouldn't play it anymore because it scared them too bad. So of course that makes
You
me
know what?
want to play it.
You know what movie I would actually put on that list is The Birds. I think that's a great horror movie that a lot of people could appreciate and get them interested in horror movies.
I think so too. I think there's certain things like people say David mentioned Jaws is not a horror movie, and I think technically he's right. It's not. It's more of a speaking feature. But the fact that people were so terrified to actually go back and go into the water, I think that's where it elevated and became a horror movie because it scared people.
So let me ask you: if it's not a horror movie, where would you guys classify it?
Which one, Jaws?
Jaws, creature feature.
Mm.
Thriller.
There are some people that consider it a slasher. Legitimately.
Never saw Jaws as a slasher.
The Devil Rides Out is a good one. I wouldn't say it's fun. I mean, The Devil Rides Out is a pretty brutal movie, but it's a really cool movie.
What Joe just put in the chat is, to me, horror is anything that scares people. Creature features are horror films. I 100% agree with that statement. Anything that scares you.
Yeah, I mean, it's so subjective.
Did anybody ever see The Devil Rides Out?
Does anybody know that The Wizard of Oz is considered a fucking horror movie? Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, a lot of people were really scared of the monkeys.
The Devil Rides Out is a cool movie. I recommend that anybody that hasn't seen that. That's based on a book by a writer called Dennis Wheatley, who wrote books about devil worship. He was really into that shit, and he wrote a whole series of books. Really good stuff.
Let's throw this out there. Is The Human Centipede considered a horror film?
I consider it.
Is it a horror film or is it a shitty situation? You make the call.
I mean, people literally eat shit in that movie. It's if that's not horrific, I don't know what it is.
The thing about it is, with that movie, I kind of understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to make one human digestion system out of 5 people.
Now, who signed that?
This is Nick Castle, The Shape.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I that's the one IFC movie I did not collect from my collection. I did not get The Human Centipede. I've been offered it. I've been offered all 3 parts of it like 3 or 4 different times from other people who know I collect IFC. I have said no, thank you. I just can't do it.
I understand, Ben. Ben, that's cool, bro. I mean, some people consider Jaws horror and some people may not. It's all good. Everybody's entitled to their thoughts, It's all good, man.
Yeah, I
say that Jaws is a perfect film. I can't find a flaw with Jaws. Yes, maybe parts of the ending, but I think it's a flawless movie.
When you realize that Spielberg was brand new, I mean, he had done a few things prior to that, but if you look at the story about how the movie was rushed and Spielberg was getting shit from so many different people, and you watch that movie, it is just, technically, it's just an awesome movie. It's amazing what they were able to pull off with that.
I think what makes Jaws a little bit different, Joe, is the fact that a slasher targets victims. The shark just happened to be out there. It just swimming. It was like a crime of opportunity.
So let's throw this question out there for the chat and everybody in the floor. What do you guys think? Okay, what is that, Vince?
Oh, okay.
This is Joe Dante, the director of Gremlins. It's a personal artwork he did.
That's awesome. I love Joe Dante movies.
Okay, are you ready for this, Vince? When I met Corey Feldman at a convention, he was selling his original script from the movie Gremlins at his booth. His agent was there selling it, and I bought it.
Wow!
I paid $250 for it. I still have it.
That's a steal for something like that.
So then I seen Corey at another convention 10 years later, and I asked him the stupidest thing. I said, "Hey, Corey, do you remember selling your script to the Gremlins?" It was so stupid for me to ask him that. I don't know why I asked him that. It's like, yeah, I don't have it anymore. I only wanted to ask him to confirm that he sold it to me. It was such a dick move. But
I thought
the reason I asked him
because I was selling his script from Gremlins.
No, I'm glad he wasn't, because then I would have gotten a knockoff. But I was going to give it back to him, is what I was going to do. Say, look, I have this. This belongs to you, not me. I wanted to give it back to him, so that's why I asked him. But Anyways, I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys think for the chat, in your opinion, is a perfect or near perfect film? Doesn't have to be horror.
Yeah, it could be any genre.
The first Predator. I would say from start to finish, that movie is just a perfect action movie.
And honestly, when I was growing up, my favorite thing was sharks. So Jaws always has that special place in my heart, you know. And to me, it scared me when I was a child. So I kind of like grew up with it, so I thought it was pretty much the perfect film.
Perfect film. That's
Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie of all time, so that, yeah, I agree with that.
no. Yeah, there's so many. There's so many that I like.
Mine is Halloween.
Halloween?
I think it's the greatest movie ever made.
Man, they're listing all my favorite movies in chat, but as far as perfect, I'd stick with Raiders and Predator.
The only thing I didn't like in Predator, I feel like Sonny Landham's character. Shit. What was his name in that movie? Was it
Chief?
Chief?
Is that a Savini autograph?
Wow.
That's badass.
Yep. Yeah, nice.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2. Now you guys got him showing your collection. This collection. Keep on showing them.
What was Sonny Landham's character's name in Predator? Was it? I cannot believe I can't think of it.
I thought they called him Chief. I don't know.
I don't. Benny or something or.
No. Benny was Total Recall.
What the hell was his name? Anyways, I didn't like the way that they took him out. I wish he would have fought the Predator. I really do. He's standing on the log.
His name was Billy.
That's Billy. That's right. He's standing on the log. He's challenging the Predator. Why did we have to cut it out? Let him go at it. Just give it 1 minute. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nice. That's what they lost out on that film that they could have done.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Bill Moseley.
I can't think of a perfect movie. I mean, there's so many good ones out there.
You know what, Vasim? You just scored major points, brother. The Burbs is one of my favorite movies ever made.
Burbs is a cool movie.
What are you holding up, Vince?
He's got a
this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh,
and
hell
this
yeah.
is signed by Bill Moseley, who played Chop Top.
See, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that maybe there might be conventions sooner than later that are going to launch.
Really?
Well, I'm in Dayton, Ohio, so we have one close to us called Horror Hound in Cincinnati. They canceled last year. Cody, H&S Collectibles, and I were supposed to meet for that one. I think they may be trying to have it again this year. I'm not entirely sure. I keep seeing posts that they're going to do it. But last year, some of the cast from Demon Knight was supposed to be there. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. Like Billy and Lisa Zane were supposed to be there. Tony Todd was supposed to be there. Some of the Elm Street cast is supposed to be there. So I guess we're going to have to see. Robert Englund was supposed to be there. I mean, shit.
When is that scheduled?
Generally, it's in March. So if I find out anything, I'll definitely send out a link.
Is
I
that
will
the
be there if
magazine
it's-
Horror Hound?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, it looks like a Saw. One of our local comic book stores by me is they're starting to have in-store guests starting in February, and they mentioned the Motor City. They mentioned the Motor City Comic Con, and that's our big convention. And they're mentioning that might be happening later on this year, which is the first, because I hadn't heard anybody say anything about actually launching a live event yet. But this is the first I heard about it.
If you go to the one in Ohio, let me know, because I'll meet you guys there too. Because I'm in Pennsylvania, and that wouldn't be too terrible of a trip for me to make.
Yeah, we were thinking about having a horror community gathering over there because I know Cody's going to go. I think John Project Ellsworth might want to go to that one. I think
Yeah, because he's
David
in
wants to
Jersey. That's not far.
I think Ben wants to fly down to Ohio to go to that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ben will
wow.
do it.
Maybe the Cheetah and Paladin can come up, and I don't know. We'll see. It might be worth waiting a year or two based on how COVID is, you know.
Yeah, I think March is
Too soon.
unrealistically optimistic at this point.
I know. I agree.
Well, they can
I
put
still
We're
have
in
my ticket from
Arizona,
last
so
year.
we're in the hot spot right now.
Yeah.
Are you guys still getting?
Nobody
parts
wants to
over
do anything here.
And I wouldn't expect anybody to put themselves at risk either, you know. So I probably think they're going to I mean, I keep seeing links for it, but I'm like, are you guys seriously going to do this? Because COVID really isn't slowing down, in my opinion. But
There was back in late fall, there were some comic book conventions going on, and I saw pictures online of that, and it looked crazy. I mean, you saw people standing in line for autographs, and they were, like 10 feet apart because they were, they had their shit together, making sure people didn't get too close. They didn't want the publicity of an outbreak at their location. I just can't imagine that happening.
they have a couple later in the year in Kentucky. The Fright Night Film Festival and Scarefest Paranormal Convention.
Captain Spaulding.
And
Are you
David's
guys into
only an hour and a
paranormal
half
stuff?
away. That's about as far away as I would be too.
I hope that they do come back with it. I really do. I hope some of these people, I know they want to make the money back. They're off the whole year plus income and everything else. But so have the people who are actually going to these conventions. So I'm really hoping that when they do come back, I hope they take that into consideration and not try to get their money back all at once. Like maybe instead of charging $50 to walk through the door, maybe charge $25 this year.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I paid $25 for a single day ticket. I still have my ticket from last year. I have the stub. So they said you could use it this year if you want to. But everybody that paid for packages and shit, they wanted the refunds because some of those people were paying $1,000 to meet Robert Englund.
Holy shit, you kidding
Wow.
me?
For a photo op.
That's stupid.
That's just pure greed.
It really is. I'm disappointed to hear that about England, to be honest with you. I can't imagine that I would ever think to charge that much money for an autograph or something like that. That's fucking stupid.
Well, it was like one of those packs where you get to, it's like you get early act. I think he splits the money with the convention and then parts of it goes to other things. So, but I mean, it's still $1,000. That's a lot of money. You know,
I mean, if that was going to charity, that's one thing. But Sid Haig, that's a nice one to have. No longer with us.
A convention is just like a live music venue. They will take a small amount of merch, but very small. Which is one of the reasons why a lot of these, they should only charge like maybe 20%. Which is why some of the prices are a little higher. What really sucks is when a convention will come in there and they'll sit there and say, well, except for special events like Robert England, but they can go up there and say, okay, everybody has to charge at least $100. And even the star folks will command and get their $100, but the lower end people won't. But they still have to charge $100 because that's what the main event is charging. Like, they're not allowed to go. They're not allowed to undercut their prices, which really sucks.
Funny, not really a funny, but a cool thing about Sid Haig. When I met him, that's awesome, by the way, Vince. His price for his autograph was the least amount in the whole convention, and half of his price would go to charity.
That's the way
that was his personal choice.
Yeah, and I understand some of these actors, the work dries up and they got to make a living, but I
agree with that too, Eric. Because I mean, that's something else. Is like I've noticed too. Is like you see a lot of the familiar horror faces that are around, right? But if you really take a good hard look at them, you'll notice that a lot of them aren't really working.
Yeah.
I mean, there's surprisingly, I'm surprised. I mean, you can tell that by their own like social media posts when they keep on posting up pictures of what they've done in the past, and there's nothing new coming up.
Agreed, Joe.
Has anybody ever seen this magazine?
Doc, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great magazine. It interviews character actors, ones you've heard of, ones you might not have heard of, and by and large, the ones who have a career, and they readily admit this, they're willing to be working actors. They're willing to take parts in maybe not the lead role, but they're willing to do supporting parts. They're willing to go out there and audition. The ones who don't work, I think, are the ones who want to be the headliners, want to get the attitude like, I don't have to audition. I've done this many movies, just hire me. So it is these character actors who are super talented. They've made a ton of great movies. The ones who want to work make that decision that they're going to work. And the ones who don't work, I think, kind of have the attitude like, I want to be the headliner. I want to be the star, or else I'm not going to do it. That's a really good magazine. I recommend that. It's only $5 too. It's published out of Jersey, $5. It's supposed to be quarterly, but it comes out maybe twice a year now.
Yeah, I mean, I've met quite a few actors at conventions, and the most I've ever paid was $20 to $30. I did pay, I think I paid $75 to $100 to meet Robert Englund. But for me, it was worth it because I love Nightmare on Elm Street that much,
Yeah.
But that was the most I've ever paid. But I wouldn't do. When I said $1,000 for a photo op, I would assume that would be more than one person paying, at like maybe a group. But that's still a lot of money that you're out if you're not going to be able to make it to the convention.
Mm-hmm. Killer Clown. What is that? Is that a?
It's a resin statue.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And this is Shorty from Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Oh, the clowns! Yay!
You don't see a lot of merch from that movie.
Did you get Joe's asking if you got an autograph and a picture with Robert England, Hobbs.
I have a DVD signed by Robert Englund, but I don't have a picture with him. You'd have to pay extra for the photo op, but I got his autograph.
Is that Amanda Bierce from Fright Night?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I love that scene where she turns around with the fangs. That's awesome.
I've not seen Hanukkah yet. I did order it, and then the order got got messed up, so I've not seen it. There were some issues with the distribution with that film.
Oh, Hanukkah?
We've seen it.
Yeah,
we own it.
seen it. We own it.
What'd you guys think of it?
Interesting, but it didn't have a whole lot of Sid Haig in it. Like it did, but it didn't. Like it wasn't. It was like a slow burn. It's worth watching though.
I've tried to order it twice, and both times that I tried to order it, the distribution company got back to me and said, "We don't have any copies."
That's cool. You don't see Wishmaster too much.
No, not at all.
No.
Here's a rare one for you: The Gate.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah, the Minions.
Is that all the same line?
Yeah, it comes from frightcrate.net.
Okay.
Do you guys get Fright Crate and Fright Rags, or is that all two separate boxes?
We just get Fright Crate.
We just get Fright Crate, and this shirt actually was in Fright Crate.
Okay.
Yeah. So is this one. Give you a shirt every time.
Yeah.
And we like Reagan.
Fight Club.
Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club.
Nope, we don't.
Here's
no
our
rules in
little
Fight Club.
broken statue.
So do you think that the conventions will rebound if they continue to charge high, or you think they'll have to lower prices to get people back?
I expect to charge high, but also people are going to have free
lower.
tickets.
I think so too. I think they're going to lower it. And that, that's the same thing with the theaters. Like they're talking about now, our theaters might be reopened by the 1st of February and stuff like that. And I'm not really feeling people really rushing out there to go back to the theater now.
So here's the deal with that. I was going to talk about that also. I'm glad you brought that up. I work for the cable company. That's my full-time job. We are getting more business now for people ordering movies on demand. They're ordering movies that are supposed to be in the theater, and they're paying $20 a pop. Like I don't have any time. That's why I'm working overtime. But we have so many people ordering movies and getting service, and and all these people are telling me they're doing it because they don't think there's going to be a theater anymore. All the customers are telling me that. So I don't know if theaters are going to be going to on demand now and going to pay-per-view, and that's how they're going to make their money. I don't know. That's a great question. What do you guys think?
That's a great question. I would rather stay home. I'll be honest.
I'll be honest too. I'd rather stay home too. I can fire up some food here. I have a bathroom right away. I can sit wherever I want.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah, you can relax in your home.
Here's the thing, though. I think with Wonder Woman, Warner's is looking to lose money because you don't have the way these blockbusters made money in the past is people going for repeat viewings in the theater. And if you sign up for a streaming service to watch the movie once, unless they cut it off, then that you have to pay more money to see it again, there's not going to be the kinds of budgets to make these huge blockbuster movies anymore.
And I think the studios would love to withdraw from doing that. They'd like to go back to make smaller movies.
Well, I don't know, because
the people that made a killing of Wonder Woman was HBO. Because HBO Max, if you had HBO, you were getting Wonder Woman for free on HBO Max.
Well, see, the thing, HBO is owned by AT&T, which owns DC, which owns Warner. I mean, it's all under one umbrella. So in the long run, it's the same company that's losing out. You have Disney and you have Warner Brothers that have these huge stables of properties, especially Disney that has Star Wars, that has Marvel Universe. They want to make huge budget movies. I mean, this was built into their when you look at the investors, when you look at the stock offerings, that sort of income is expected. And if you do away with that, it's going to be an issue. But the thing is, the infrastructure is going to die out. If if this virus keeps on going and the theaters don't open up, the infrastructure will die off, and when things return to normal, it's not going to be there anymore. What's going to happen is, not to get political, but with the incoming administration helping not just small businesses, but businesses across the board, some of these other businesses that are dying off, and also the studios pitching in to help reinvigorate theaters. That's what it's going to take, because if there's no help from either the studios or some kind of bailout, you're not going to have it anymore. It's just going to die off.
Look at that. Vince has got the stuff up there. The stuff. Have you seen the stuff, Patrick?
No, I did not see the stuff. But
Are you aware of it?
Oh, you have to see the stuff.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Nope, I have not seen the stuff.
We got to get you caught up, Cheetah. We got to get you some classics. Have you seen Popcorn?
Nope, have not seen Popcorn.
You've not seen Popcorn or the stuff?
No.
Man, we got to get you caught up, bro.
Yeah, see, Tim Hayes mentions drive-in theaters and make a comeback. I think that would be awesome. I would love to see drive-in theaters make a comeback. They are only playing older films over the summer. Drive-in near me was doing Night of the Demons.
That's cool, Vince.
And that would be really great if they could do that.
They're going to open up a drive-in theater here in Michigan. I mean, legitimately, they're going to open up a new one.
Yeah, and see, you've got Godzilla versus King Kong is going to HBO Max. Wonder Woman went there. Dune is going there. These are huge movies that need to make huge money back, and it's not going to happen with lack of repeat viewing in the theaters. It's
And for those of you keeping track, we're not making fun of Patrick for not seeing horror. We just want him to see those movies.
Yeah, you'd like the stuff, Patrick. It's a great cast. Danny Aiello, Michael Moriarty.
Garrett Morris is in it.
Paul Sorvino. Yeah, Garrett Morris.
Yeah, I remember the movie when it came out. I remember reading about it. It's just one of those movies I never saw. And, it's like you never see it on the wild at all.
And it's half comedy. That movie almost is a comedy.
Yeah, I think it's horror comedy. Nope, I have not. I mean, there's a lot of movies that I've seen. Like I don't have a copy of They Live, but I've watched it. I'm just trying to catch. I'm just trying to catch up with some of the older movies, which is really what I like about my Salvation Army, because lately I've been going over there and I've been scoring some really nice older titles.
I missed that too. I was doing a lot of thrifting over the summer, but I'm just not going to do it now with the shit going on.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm going to be able to actually go out and do anything as far as collecting goes, is actually the thrift store.
Yeah,
and maybe maybe eBay. If there people aren't being stupid about prices.
I had a cash converters in my area that I would hit up maybe twice a week and get fucking crazy movies there. Everything was $1. And the shit I found there was off the hook. Fucking rare shit left and right. I loved it.
Yeah,
I've been there in months now.
I have to go to Disc Replay. Where's everybody's favorite place to go to shop physically? Physically, when you go out hunting, where's your favorite place to go shopping at?
Zia Records.
Zia Record? Okay.
Yeah, because we go to their $1.99 stacks, and they have a lot of stuff.
I caught somebody flipping on Facebook.
I don't think we've ever walked out of there.
Okay, Casey's saying that he goes to cash converters too. David goes to Walmart.
I love me some cash converters.
Yeah, I like Disc Replay too. But this hit and miss with them, because some of the prices are really good. But man, oh man, those like the Pretender. I mean, you're talking like $40 online. They'll probably charge $60 inside that store. It's just crazy prices. Disc Replay. Crazy prices.
Well, guys, we're going to get off here.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Becky.
Everybody's happy birthday, Becky. Early birthday.
And a very happy birthday, Becky.
When are you doing the spin, Vince? So we can all watch Hobbs win. I mean, see who wins.
That will be at midnight on the 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have a great. You guys have a great. We'll see you guys next Sunday, right?
Yep.
Yep, you sure will.
Awesome.
Bye.
Oh, down to 3.
Sab's still here?
Oh, I see him. I don't think Hobbs is with us. All right, so let's carry it. Yeah, I think the same thing with theaters is the same thing as with conventions. I definitely think the theaters need to come out there and make sure the prices are real low. If they don't make them low, then I think that's really going to hurt the theater.
You are going to need the studios to get very involved, I think, in the rejuvenation of theaters. I think we are going to see some significant bailouts here with the new administration coming in to reinvigorate the economy, because it's a fucking dumpster fire at this point.
It really is.
And there's nobody really in control. And I think because I'm seeing some stuff about the new administration coming in, I think they have some plans. So I'm hopeful. I think things can rebound, but it's going to take more than one source getting involved.
Yeah, they mentioned like $1.9 trillion, and I was hearing people were, that seems about right. I mean, because you got to think about every single business that closed and it got affected. I just hope that they do a lot more control as far as making sure this money actually goes to the places it needs to go to. It doesn't need to go to the top 4% like underneath Trump did. Not getting political. Not getting political. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So
things will rebound eventually, but I think you are seeing a paradigm shift in a lot of different ways. That the thing that makes the film industry so volatile is that you do have this introduction of the streaming, which people really like, and at the end of the day, that is going to decide the fate of theaters, I think, because you can get a stimulus package, you can get the studios getting involved to bail out the theaters, but if people do decide that they like staying at home and streaming better, then you are going to see a paradigm shift where that is just going to go away. And it's going to be like brick and mortar stores. As people like to do shit online, you see those kinds of stores going away. And I think eventually you're going to see unemployment numbers start to affect the lack of retail jobs out there too.
Yeah.
This shit's a domino, and I think you're just going to start to see a lot of stuff being taken away from online activity.
Yeah, I definitely feel that's I don't know how they're going to do it, but I definitely feel like they can get it fixed. I mean, we're going to be heading into a depression. I mean,
yes,
nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, I agree with that. I think there's a lot of people that actually do want to get out there and do things, get out of their houses. And I think they do and they will. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I would. Everybody here would. But once you get outside and face the reality of what's, do I want to go to a theater? How do I feel if I go there and I see people not wearing masks anymore? Maybe.
Yeah. Now, somebody mentioned the Avatar movies. That will be interesting to see, because I know Cameron is sinking tons of money into those movies. And nothing against the original Avatar, but I don't know that people really care about those movies.
I think that boat sailed a long time ago.
Yeah, because you really don't hear people talk about Avatar much.
No.
Sorry, Tim. I was switching my charger, man. I'm back.
All right.
What's cool is that the stream stays on when I switch my charger, and I just jump back in. So.
Well, if Hollywood gets the bailouts, that's one thing. Hollywood's got to funnel that movie back into the theater industry.
All about for the Avatar movies, at all. I mean, I know they'll gear up and start pumping it, but I don't think Hollywood should get bailouts.
No, I don't either. And frankly, a lot of these studios have contributed money to politicians to be able to keep on working during the pandemic. That's why you see a lot of these productions, like the Tom Cruise production, and bitching about COVID being spread. because they lined the pockets of these politicians to keep operating. Screw the studios at this point. Keep the theaters open. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Keep the I say keep the theaters open, and I hope the theaters are smart. And if I'm an owner, I'm watching that business model shift. Like how many older movies came out that they run this summer that did really great business. Like I saw on the movie database, they're tracking the income of the theaters, and hell, Alien movie, the first movie made $150,000 nationwide. And it only got shown to a small amount of theater, but still did $150,000. That's actually really good. You think about it.
Then save the bailouts for Wall Street and banking.
Yeah.
I knew you were kidding, but yeah, Tim makes a good point. When you're talking about the level of bailout money that they're talking about now, I think you can arguably say that we are in a depression. I mean, this is.
They're not saying it, but we are.
Yeah, I mean, this is uncharted territory we're in at this point. I mean, 2020 seen a lot of things happen that really haven't happened in modern era, and I think arguably we are in that already. So I don't know, we'll see.
So something kind of sad, but kind of interesting that happened this week. So, are you guys into horror hosts? Like, I have a horror host locally named Dr. Creep. I know you guys have seen my Instagram picture with him and stuff. He passed away 10 years ago to the day yesterday. I was just curious, do you guys have local horror hosts where you guys are at, like local Elvira's, things like that?
Those all went away with the loss of independent stations.
When I was a kid, I used to see Sven Gulli. I think Sven Gulli is still on, like some affiliate that we get.
He's on MeTV.
Is that where
Cheetah, I think you're froze, buddy. Patrick,
okay.
I think you're froze.
Okay, I'll step out.
Yeah, so I've seen Sven Gulli, but that's it.
Yeah, he was legendary, Dr. Creep, around here. He would do a lot of conventions, and he would do a lot of stuff for muscular dystrophy.
Mm-hmm.
And he would do a lot of live stuff too, like he would go to haunted houses and stuff. And he would promote charities, which I thought was awesome.
We lost Tanya Roberts, and we lost Julie Strain this week too.
Yeah.
And Julie Strain was in a number of this would be good for you. I don't know if you have any of these movies, Hobbs, the Andy Sedaris movies.
I got the whole collection.
Yeah, I do too. And that would be good for your grindhouse, and you can pay tribute to Julie Strain in the process. She did a couple of movies under the Savage Beach title, where they were like a Charlie's Angels type of outfit.
The Ladies of Lethal.
See, I'm kind of exploring all that stuff now, so I'll have to get into that.
Yeah, I agree with Tim. I mean, these movies are in production. They really don't need to be. People are being put at risk for this, and it's really because these politicians have been getting money from Hollywood studios. It's bullshit.
Sven Gulli, I know Sven Gulli. I'm pretty sure I've seen Sven Gulli before.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you have.
We lost to Cheetah again.
No,
He's
here.
back.
It sounded like he was in a wind tunnel for a little bit there.
Yeah, Sven Gulli. Sven Gulli's probably the last true horror host. But Jesus Christ, it's so hard to watch this show because he has like the same 40 movies that he recycled. It's like, dude, I know you're making more money than this. You can't get fresh movies.
Well, they do a lot of public domain stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But I had a picture here of Sven Gulli. No, I Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get the camera here.
See Superman.
Oh, I don't know.
Can you still hear me, Derek?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not on TV on the screen anymore, and I don't see Hobbs.
There he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Phil Spector died in jail too.
Yeah.
What a fucking scumbag that guy was. You know,
No,
all the
no one
talent he
killed.
worked with, all the good shit he did, and then he fucking
Yeah,
he
killed
kills.
that.
Yeah,
He killed that poor girl.
it's like Robert Blake too.
Yeah, you know damn well he was guilty.
Oh yeah. He's out of jail now, though. I think.
Did he get put in jail? I didn't know if he went in jail. I don't think he actually got convicted of that though.
I want to say yeah, he did do jail time. I don't know, to be honest with you, but yeah, I don't know.
I just know that I know after this. I know after that happened, nobody touched him with a 10-foot pole.
I remember seeing something a few years ago where he was putting feelers out, trying to tell people he was available for work, but nobody wanted to do business with him.
No, nobody wanted to do business, and he was trying to crash conventions and selling his shit. And
really?
They showed up. Police actually escorting them out. Nobody wanted him. He was toxic. Yeah, the first TV host I ever saw.
Go ahead.
The first TV host I ever saw was a gentleman named Tom Hatton, and he was on he had a program on KTLA Channel 5 in Los Angeles, and he showed Popeye. He showed all the Popeye cartoons, and he was just he just knew everything there was to know about Popeye. And then later on, they had him become a creature feature host. So every Saturday and Sunday, he would come up there and do creature features.
You back now, Hobbs?
I don't know what happened to Hobbs. maybe he won that. Maybe he won that hot sauce and tried it.
I don't know. So what's on everybody's viewing schedule for the coming week? What stuff are you looking at watching?
Sinister.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's a sequel then too. You can check out. The sequel wasn't that great, but wasn't horrible either.
I think I'm gonna. You know what? It's funny. It's like I meant to do Relic, so I actually grabbed Relic, and then I don't know what happened. I just said, you know what? I thought I'd go ahead and watch. I was gonna watch Kevin Smith first, so I watched the special from 2002. That is a mind-blowing little special. He lectured across the country, and they just filmed him doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Story about his time with Superman, because they were thinking maybe he could do Superman, right? That story that he tells about his experience doing that is off the chain. It is one of the most bizarrest stories I've ever heard, and I've heard a few. It's absolutely insane. What they asked him to do. The producer was a guy named John Peters, and he told Kevin Smith for his Superman movie. I want to watch that this week, David. He said that John Peters, who was the producer, didn't want Superman to fly, and he didn't want Superman to wear his costume. And in the third act, he wanted Superman to fight a giant spider.
I remember the part about the giant spider. Yeah.
And which ended up going inside the Wild Wild West movie that he produced.
Right.
Which I actually like. I actually like the Wild Wild West. I know that movie gets a lot of hate but I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's not a well-liked movie. I haven't seen that movie in probably 20 years. But Kevin Smith's live streams, he does them weekly with a writer named Mark Bernardin, and they're really good. And he'll talk about this kind of stuff on occasion.
Does he do live streams here on YouTube, or is he has a podcast?
No, it live streams on YouTube. Yeah, that's the one I was
wow.
jumping between last night when Coast to Coast was on. And
Okay.
he'll talk about the new TV shows and the new movie announcements and everything, and he'll delve into some stories about his own career, which is pretty good. The guy he co-hosted with, Mark Bernardin, is a TV writer himself. I forget what he's written for, but he knows his shit. He's really knowledgeable about everything.
See, the Unhinged is terrific.
Is that the Russell Crowe one?
Yeah. Russell Crowe's such a good actor.
He is.
He really is.
I want to see Unhinged, but I feel like it's the kind of movie I really don't want to see right now with everything going on in the world. So I might come back to that later.
It's funny because it's like it's funny. I watched which I'm really glad because I really like this guy as a director. The director Xavier Gens, he's a French director, and he's the one that directed The Crucifixion, and that's where I first saw Brittany Ashworth. Who's a new young British actress, and she's sensational. She is sensational in that. And then he produced a movie called Hostel, the one I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is beautiful. It's a beautiful movie, and great turn, great acting. And then Cold Skin, which came out in the same year as Hostel did, 2017. Again, it's just a visually beautiful movie and such a well acted movie.
Mm-hmm.
It had Ray Stevenson in it, and Ray Stevenson's one of those larger than life guys that you could, if a director's not careful, he'll start chewing scenery.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave a great performance. I mean, all the actors gave a great performance.
You mean Ray Stevenson chews the scenery?
Sometimes
Really?
I've seen a couple of movies where he's just been out there wild, and but this movie here, he was really restrained, and they filmed it in the Canary Islands. It was supposed to be in the South Antarctic, so they're saying that they had trouble making it seem like really cold because it was really hot. But it was just a great movie, and I went with that. I went with Kevin Smith, and I didn't want to go dark and dreary.
I know what you mean. Yeah. And until shit settles down, I just yeah. But Cold Skin was one I saw at Dollar Tree. I got to pick that up next time.
Definitely got to pick that up. That is a beautiful movie, and I'm sure you will really enjoy it. I uploaded my. I uploaded a new video. I uploaded my. It should be up now. I uploaded my second part of my family video haul of all the movies I got there, and I'm going. Like I said, I'm going there tomorrow for my last trip, and then Dollar Tree's dropping their new sale next Friday, and I just feel for someone like myself, we're gonna really struggle trying to keep up
with Dollar Tree.
No, I'm talking about just like with the new movies when they cause like when they used to hit the video store, I could just sit there and wait for like a month, and then I could get everything for $4.
Well, one thing is, I mean, right now we're seeing inventory being Hobbs is back. Right now we're seeing movies that presumably have been filmed prior to COVID finally getting released on DVD, but these smaller budget movies that go straight to DVD, sooner or later that back inventory is going to dry up, probably some point this year, because while the big Hollywood productions have been going on, I kind of don't know if the smaller independent movies have. Although, what's that Cool Duder that Sean C. Phillips, whatever his name is, he seems to be filming a lot of low budget movies. So I don't know.
Yeah, he they come in and there's two pay rates for SAG actors. There's like the big budget movie, they get paid a certain rate, and then there's the small independent movie where they come in and get paid not that much, because it's a low budget movie. Depending on how what your budget movie is what the pay rate is. So he'll come in there and he'll do a day or two of work, and that's what he does. So he's able to do a lot of those movies like that.
I saw him say one time that he took some roles where he actually ended up losing money because he hardly got paid anything, and he had to pay for his own travel to get there. So by the end of the day, he was footing his own bill for some of this stuff.
Yeah,
he said he put the kibosh on that. He said, "I'm not going to do that anymore." But at one point, he said that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I don't think he has to do that anymore. He's got enough of a name now, and his channel's active. I mean, he's known, and and they put his name on the boxes now. I mean, I've seen his name on a few of those DVD boxes. So, yeah. But I did talk to a studio this week, and I asked them if with the loss of Family Video, because that really truly is one of the last, huge spots where they could put their movies in. Was it going to put them at risk as well? And he says no, they're in good shape right now, but he just said we all have to watch more of the Tubi and the Pluto and the Shutter, that sort of thing. What are those
Quibi and the Queefy and the
anything where there's free, anything free.
Yeah,
he says that will help him. That will help him out a lot. So I mean I haven't watched Pluto in a long time.
I don't even know what the hell Pluto. I never even heard of Pluto.
It's partly owned by CBS Paramount, and it's free, and they have various channels. They have commercials. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. They have like a very niche. Some channels are just dedicated to one show. Like they have a channel dedicated to just asylum movies. They have a channel dedicated to just Baywatch.
Just Baywatch. Well, I guess Baywatch and Baywatch Nights. There were two of them.
I actually saw. I was actually surprised to see this, but I watched it. They actually had they had foreign horror, and they had battle royale on there. So I watched that, and it's uncut. I mean, the commercials are there, but the movies are uncut. If it has profanity and nudity in it, they're showing it, and that included. They actually showed Irreversible. Yeah, and Tubi TV is free. You don't want to hear Queefy.
Don't speak about Queefy anymore.
I don't know what a Queefy is. What's a Queefy? See,
I was kidding, like Quibi.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I think that went belly up.
Quibi did, yeah. They were looking for a buyer because I guess they actually managed to accumulate an inventory of material that they were looking for a buyer for. But
who's actually going to pay attention to that? I mean, their idea of what was showing segments of episodes of being 10 minutes long. I mean, seriously?
If I keep coming in and out, just keep the chat going, guys. I don't care.
You're all right.
Yeah, no, it's this charger, man. Like, it's got a mind of its own tonight. I never have these problems, but yeah. So if something happens to me, just keep having fun, guys. I'll eventually get it fixed. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Something sinister is in your house.
I think I spilled beer on it or something. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Bottled water.
Oh boy.
Oh, Roku.
What did I miss? I looked at the messages and I seen queefs. What the hell did I miss?
I don't. Queef.
Quibi and Queefy and.
We're talking about the free channels.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there does need to be a Wild Eye horror movie named Queef, maybe.
I think they need to be a wild. They need to have a maybe Steven's still on the chat. Do they have a Wild Eye on Tubi? Dedicated to Tubi?
No.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Godzilla. I dare say I'm actually might venture out to the theater for that one.
The Queefer. The two I'm looking forward to the most is new James Bond and Dune. Those are the two for me.
Yeah, I think
Madness. Yes.
Patrick, have you seen Chillerama with the killer sperm?
I'm still looking for that on the Dollar Tree, and I have not been able to find a copy of it.
It's coming your way. I'll send it to you. You can have it.
Well, is that do you have a copy yourself?
I don't need a copy of it. I'm good, but I'll send you a copy of it.
I love Joe Lynch, man. Joe Lynch is one of my favorite directors. Have you seen a Knights of Badassdom? Anybody?
Knights of Badassdom?
You know what? Let me tell you what. That's a perfect movie. Earlier, we're talking about a perfect movie. That's my perfect movie. That's
the one with Peter Dinklage about the LARPers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that a few years ago.
Oh my God, that movie just had me in tears.
Candyman.
Sir Hung.
Candyman. That's one I'm looking forward to this year too.
Yeah. I Fireplace 2 I'd be interested in only if this time the people are actually smarter.
I didn't care for A Quiet Place. I just wasn't into that.
I didn't either. It was they were stupid. They just weren't smart. You know, if it had everything had happened just that day, I could understand some of the mistakes they were making. But it had been like that for 3 years, and you see them like leaving the kid behind all by themselves. Like, who's going to do that? You know, it's just like no. Getting pregnant during that time frame would be the last thing you do. It's like, who would do that?
I know. The thing that bothered me the most about it, though, and I don't like movies that do this, is that it was too emotionally manipulative, I think. And I think that was John Krasinski as the filmmaker. I think he was trying to do that because he has kids now, and I think that's what he was going for, is, wanting to reflect the way it would be for him if his family were put into this situation. And I never relate to that sort of thing, probably because I don't have kids. But, yeah.
I just think that
Ben's laid it on thick there.
You always like movies about smart people with him. That's not true. There's been some smart people in movies doing smart things.
I didn't see Bird Box. But yeah, I don't like movies that play at the heartstrings, and I mean, I do like some movies like that. I just didn't like it particularly in A Quiet Place for some reason. Just wasn't my cup of tea. But it was a well-made movie. Maybe the sequel will be good.
Young Einstein.
Yahoo Serious.
Oh God.
Or no, I'm thinking, Young Einstein. Yeah, that was Yahoo Serious, right?
Yeah. Boy, remember how I remember they're pumping him up to be the next big thing, and he was done. Right. You know, by the time that movie hit the screen, he was done. Yeah, I'm excited for the Godzilla too. I'm very excited for that. And I'm not sure awesome. I'm not sure if it's supposed to come out this year, but I'm also excited to see Black Adam.
I don't think they haven't even started to film that.
What the hell's Black Adam?
Huh?
What the hell's Black Adam?
Black Adam is in the DC universe. He was like the first Shazam, but he's a badass character.
Oh, you're talking about comics,
right? He started out as a pure villain.
Thanks for coming, Tim. Tim Hayes, have a good night, man. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, he started out as a straight villain, and then they over the years they've evolved him into more like an anti-hero. He'll just come in to help whenever it suits him, which is fine. But they're also going to bring in the Justice Society of America, which would be really exciting too.
Yeah, in the comic books in recent years, they've linked Black Adam to the Justice Society, which is kind of like the Earth 2 in DC Comics mythology. Black Adam, it's funny because years back they were saying Black Adam was going to be played by The Rock. And this was before the Shazam movie even came out. And the Shazam movie came out, it was a big hit. And then, usually by that time, the big star drops out of the movie and it gets put into limbo or never get made. But this is actually being made with The Rock now.
No. What really bummed me out about that was is that Shazam was made and with his tongue in cheek. There's a lot of comedy in it, and that's that was before I heard before anybody said anything about the Black Adam being made. Well, what sucks about it is because they done that and they made him Shazam sort of goofy, and Black Adam is all about kicking ass, and it's like wow, I think that's why we're going to have Superman make an appearance within Black Adam instead of Shazam because they're gonna have to fix that. With Shazam, they're gonna have to make him more of a serious character than just being.
I just read an update on that movie. Actually, LeVar Burton is going to play Black Adam. I'm just kidding.
But
when do we get a Wonder Twins? That would actually be pretty cool. Actually,
they could make that. There was a series in recent years that was well received in comics about the Wonder Twins. Had them.
Good night, Vaseem. Thanks for showing up, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, Vaseem.
But I think what you're going to see with Black Adam is I think you're going to see the character maybe not played so dark. I think The Rock's going to bring some humor to it. But I think it will be interesting juxtaposition between the comedy of Shazam and the badassery of Black Adam. Black Adam he's a fucking psycho. I remember in some comic books he was like a mass murderer.
He's
whole population. Yeah,
he's had a dark past. He can hold his own against Superman too. I mean, on any given day, it's not just a sure thing for Superman because he's vulnerable to magic. So there's times where Black Adam has kicked his ass all over the place. So it'll be very interesting. And I do think it's smart having Superman pop up, at the end more than Shazam. I think Shazam needs one more movie before those two meet.
If you guys are fans of The Rock has a new TV show coming out too. It's about his life growing up as a kid. I think it's called Rocky. I'm not for sure, but
Young Rock.
Check that out also.
Yeah,
Young Rock.
Yeah. Black Manta was the Aquaman villain.
Right.
But there is a Black Mamba in Marvel comic history. I agree with Casey. Marvel does too many quips sometimes. And that gets to me sometimes it seems too forced. I mean, I think Marvel movies are funny, but sometimes it does feel a little forced, like somebody saying, okay, you need a wink wink funny quip here and so on, and it does get old after a while.
Yeah, I mean you don't really want them to talk like they do in the comic books. I mean, like every single character, if you look at comics, like by the time they even figure out what's happening to them to get their powers, they're dropping one-liners. It's just like so cheesy. It's like, does everybody talk that way? No, of course not.
It's the Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of take on superheroes. And I mean, I remember when I was a kid reading comic books, shit was taken seriously. I mean, it was melodramatic soap opera. Everybody was kind of serious. And I don't want that necessarily, but I'd like to see more of a fine line between the two takes, something like more melodramatic with the comedy.
I think that's why people like the Captain America movies, because they had a little bit of one-liners, but overall, I mean, straight through was probably the most serious, That and Black Panther, that was a really serious movie too. There wasn't very many one-liners in that.
DC movies do tend to be darker to their detriment, I think. And I think that's part of the critical backlash they've gotten, is that shit was getting too dark and it was unnecessary. But I think that was kind of DC's way of trying to differentiate itself from the movies that Marvel was putting out.
Yeah, because their animated movies got really dark. I mean, you can watch a Batman movie and it's like, wow, holy shit. I mean, one of the best movies I saw last year was the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I've never seen anything like that. That movie blew the brakes off the car. That was amazing. That's what Endgame should have been.
Was there more than one Justice League Dark animated movie? Because I have one. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't know if there was more than one.
Yeah, I believe they came out with 3 of them.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then actually they started a new cycle for DC with Superman, Man of Tomorrow, which was really good, but also very scary. And then they have an origin story for Batman coming out, Soul of the Dragon, and that's coming out Tuesday.
Oh, that's the one with Richard Dragon, the kung fu character from the 70s.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I want to see that.
Lady Shiva and Bronze Tiger.
Yeah, that shit's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that. Dude,
What about? Is anybody looking forward to Maverick?
Maverick.
Right? Yeah, I heard about that. I just read about that too. Hobbs.
Oh, the Top Gun sequel. Yeah.
Are you talking about Top Gun, or are them remaking the Western movie?
Top Gun sequel.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Tom Cruise is somebody that I don't particularly like. I think he's an asshole, and I never look forward to sitting down and watching a Tom Cruise movie. But when I do actually sit down and watch it, I enjoy it. He makes good movies.
Yeah, he's entertaining. For sure. And you know what? He does not want to die sitting on his ass. I mean, one of these days he's just not going to make one of those stunts. He's just not going to do it.
Well,
he's going to jump out the airplane, and the parachute ain't going to be working. And
what do you do?
You know what? Go ahead.
He hitched his star to Elon Musk, wasn't he? Didn't he sign up to do some production with Elon Musk that's going to be filmed in space? Did you see about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. Man, that would be. That would, yeah.
Yeah, David, I agree, man. I grew up with Super Friends in the Batman animated series too. I loved Super Friends. Super Friends every Saturday morning, and I had the Superpowers action figures, which were some of the most beautiful action figures ever made from the mid-'80s. I sold them on eBay years ago. Pissed me off I did that, but yeah, I used to love Super Friends. I still have some of the DVDs from that too.
I actually found season 6 of Super Friends at a Dollar Tree sale.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I have the one on DVD that it was like one of the final seasons they did where they introduced Darkseid and Cyborg was on it. I think it was called Galactic Guardians or something like that. Yeah. But it was either the last or the second to last season they did.
Yeah, they lost the rights, so they had to come out with different names for it.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Cruise is somebody like I never say, "Ooh, I want to watch a Tom Cruise movie," but I'll get a hankering to watch some movie that happens to have him in it, and I'll sit down and I'll enjoy it. Like even The Mummy, I got to admit, I enjoyed that movie despite his being in it.
Like we were mentioning about Russell Crowe earlier, he stole that movie. I wanted to see him come back in another movie. I wanted the Dark Universe to continue, so they bring back Russell Crowe. Because he was awesome as Mr. Hyde.
He was Jekyll and Hyde, yeah.
He's perfect.
I was kind of disappointed to see that whole thing die off, too, because I think they could have done something interesting with that.
Well, that was just a case of Tom Cruise meddling way too much. I mean, the director was only director on the paper, but Tom Cruise basically directed that movie.
Yeah, it seems that's an issue with him all around here lately, because he seems to be pulling the same shit on the Mission Impossible set now too. Well, he is a producer on those movies, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see Christopher McQuarrie, who directed those movies. I don't see him being pushed around though.
Really?
No. See, I'm a mark for 80s movies, and I can't think of an 80s movie that Tom Cruise made that I did not like, and I'm being legit.
Yeah. Even The Color of Money and Cocktail. I even think those movies are great.
I could recite Cocktail from start. Cocktail is one of my favorite movies ever made.
That is a great movie.
I'm just saying from working from the club scene, that cocktail movie is it's not how it works at all.
Well, of course, that's not how it works. How many people that are drunk off their mind are doing fucking flair, throwing bottles up in the air? Of course, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I was just sitting there going like, no one does that. No. Yeah. I mean, no one. I mean, okay, you got a couple people down in L.A. or whatever, but that's so controlled, and they have to be very careful, and they break a lot more than what they do. They break more bottles than they make drinks.
And what people don't understand, that Risky Business is legitimately a business movie. It's about making money.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't understand. Sometimes they think they're like, well, it's all about sex. No, the movie's actually about business. If you look at it, he has the perfect business plan. It's just illegal. That's all.
So is Rain Man. I watched Rain Man in the past couple of years, and it surprises you how much business shit is in Rain Man. Because a lot of the movie is about him trying to do all this business shit while he's after his brother Dustin Hoffman. But yeah, David brings up a great point about DiCaprio too. DiCaprio is another one that I never gave much props to. And it wasn't until I want to say maybe Django Unchained that I really appreciated him. And I can go back and watch some of his other movies now with a better appreciation. Or maybe The Departed. Departed is when I first really appreciated his work.
It's funny. I only mention it because he's in the movie, but my favorite movie that had Leonardo DiCaprio in it was The Man in the Iron Mask.
I never saw that. That was in my phase where I was like, I don't want to watch his shit.
I absolutely love that movie. That movie is so well done. I love it. It's a great movie.
I have to check that out.
Gabriel Byrne, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu. Oh gosh, I can't remember the fourth one. But and then Leonardo was in it, and it was a very good movie.
I have to check that out.
He isn't really. He did it before he did Titanic, actually, but they released it. Yeah, they released it when Titanic was during its run to take advantage of Leonardo, and it did well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his older movies like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, The Basketball Diaries. What was that other? Bronx Tale. I mean, they were pretty good movies. But then after Titanic, he started. And the movie that really turned me off was Blood Diamond. His South African accent in that I thought was fucking ridiculous. I just couldn't watch that movie, and I think that's what turned me off then after that.
Yeah, I'm just not really much of a fan of his. I don't know why.
I think the Revenant. And did you see?
I like to see.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is fantastic.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen that.
I like to see Shutter Island.
Yeah, that was good.
Growing Pains. That's right. I think he was in that
with the wonderful Kirk Cameron. That's right, The Beach. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that had Tilda Swinton in it, I think.
Yeah, that was what, Danny Boyle? Didn't Danny Boyle make The Beach?
The Beach, great.
Yeah.
You don't know if he did it. Yeah, you might be right.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, check that out. That's what really sold me on DiCaprio. Then I thought this guy's got the shit. And Revenant, I thought Revenant was awesome too.
What is your daughter? Which mummy, David? The Brenda Fraser one or the Tom Cruise one? Yeah, I'm not really into that either. Yeah.
What's that?
That Once Upon a Time. I just don't like how he did it. He's you're mentioning earlier about how Krasinski manipulated the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tarantino did. He took advantage of the 50th anniversary of Manson, and he decided to make a movie out of it. He actually wanted to release his movie on the day of the murders, I just find that all sickening and depressing. And honestly, we don't need another Manson family movie at all on any level.
I would absolutely agree with you. I remember when it first came out that Tarantino was doing this. I think it was around the time that Manson series with David Duchovny was running. I forget the name of it, Aquarius or something.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it was rumored that Rob Zombie was going to be making a Manson movie too. And I thought, what the fuck is the fascination with Charles Manson? The guy was a complete racist, lunatic piece of shit. And I wasn't excited that because Tarantino said, I'm only going to make so many movies. And I thought, why are you wasting one on Manson? But I think the way they did it, though, I just had a good time watching that movie. It is a slow burn. It's very, very long. But I don't know. I'm a huge Brad Pitt fan, too. And I thought Brad Pitt was awesome in that movie.
The Tom Cruise movie. The Tom Cruise movie had its moments in the first half of the movie. In the first half of the movie, it was much stronger, and then the second half, there was just hardly any dialogue. I mean, it was just all one big massive chase, and there was hardly any dialogue at all. It was just like no one's really saying anything. It was just a really bizarre movie. But I do like Annabelle Wallis though. That's the main hero, the heroine. I do like her quite a bit. She's a really good actress.
Amanda, I did watch the first 3 seasons, but I haven't watched the last 2. Do you guys like the American Horror Story series?
I got 3 or 4 of the years. I'm not sure which ones I have.
I do like them. Yes.
The ones I've seen, I've liked. I liked Coven. I liked Freak Show. I liked Asylum. I liked Hotel. The last few I haven't seen, though. I lost touch with it.
I'd like to see Tarantino get off his ass and make the third Kill Bill movie.
Well, he's talked about it more and more over the years.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen probably next year or the year after.
Yeah, I'd like for him to just to get up and just do it.
He got married and had a kid, and I know he's.
Did he get married?
He got married to an Israeli singer, pop star, not Lady Gaga. But yeah, she gave birth. So, and he's close to 60, I think, if not 60. So that's.
God,
Murder House was good too. The first season of American Horror Story.
Amanda, which one did you like the most? Which season did you like?
Yeah, Tarantino should make a horror movie. I know the intention was that Death Proof was going to kind of be his horror slasher movie, and then he was going to do more Grindhouse with Rodriguez, but that never happened.
That's probably the one movie that he did outside of Kill Bill. Probably the only movie that he's done outside of Kill Bill that I was okay with. I thought it was a lot of fun, and the ending was so 70s. Holy shit!
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Yeah. And not only that, but thank God, man, he was smart in the casting. I mean, not only did he put Kurt Russell in there, but he put Zoe Bell in there, and I love Zoe Bell. Zoe Bell's the shit.
The cast all around was great. Now, it's interesting. I hadn't heard Halloween. I do remember him being attached to do a Friday the 13th movie years ago. But yeah, Halloween would have been interesting. And he was going to do a Star Trek too up until recently.
Yeah. He wanted to make it an R-rated Star Trek.
Yeah. And years back, he was going to do a Beverly Hills Cop too. He was attached to do that at one point.
The Coven looked pretty good.
It's too bad he just doesn't do something completely original. I mean, I don't know if he wrote Death Proof by himself or he co-wrote it with Rodriguez. But I mean, all his movies outside. I mean, even he's never written anything purely 100% original.
What about Reservoir Dogs? Was I think.
No, that was actually based off a French movie.
Was it?
There was elements of a French movie in that.
Because I know Jackie Brown was based on an Elmore Leonard book, Rum Punch.
Yeah.
And Django Unchained was the Django franchise.
Yeah, which had been established in the 60s.
And Dave hit the spot right there. True Romance is my favorite Tarantino script of all time. He didn't direct it. That was Tony Scott. But that's my favorite Tarantino script of all time. I love that movie.
He was wanting to redo that script to make it more violent towards the end, but he held back in the movie.
It's interesting because True Romance is one of the only movies that Tarantino has done a commentary track for. And in his original script, Christian Slater died at the end. And he wanted Tony Scott to make that. But then after seeing Tony Scott's movie, he agreed that for the movie Tony Scott actually made, it works better that Christian Slater's character lived at the end, because the movie he made, you're more invested in Christian Slater than you would have been invested in his character if Tarantino had made the movie. And it's interesting because around the same time, Tarantino wrote the script for Natural Born Killers, which Oliver Stone came in and changed completely. So he was in a real Bonnie and Clyde phase at that point.
Amanda wants to know, is anybody a fan of Shameless?
Never saw it.
Never saw it.
I do like William H. Macy, though.
Yeah, me too. He's solid.
Fargo.
The shoveler.
Between Fargo and Boogie Nights, that guy just was amazing. And a movie he was in that I actually really like is Sahara with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, me too. I love that movie.
I like that. Yeah. I wish that would have taken off.
Well, if Clive Cussler had kept putting his nose in it, he would have.
Is that what happened?
He just, he got burned. The first time he saw one of his movies, they made it with Richard Jordan. It was called Race the Titanic, and it was the first Dirk Pitt movie, and it didn't do very well. It did terrible. It looked really cheap and everything else, and he got really burned by that. And he said he'd never work with Hollywood again. So lo and behold, they years and years went by. I mean, the Clive Cussler books are hugely popular. And so they made a deal for them to do Sahara, and then he did everything in his power to basically ruin it. And he did. He kept on telling everybody how horrible it was going to be, how terrible it was going to be. They actually had to tell him to leave the set. They barred him from the set.
Wow.
Because all he was doing was just coming in and trashing it. They bought the rights to it. I mean, it's their movie. They see it how they see fit. And he sold it to them. So he can't really complain about it,
Became a self-fulfilling prophecy then that he didn't like it. But I think it's good.
I do too.
It's a fun movie.
I was really bummed out when I heard about it's supposed to be one of the worst money losers of all time. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was tremendous. I probably would have liked to seen Al Gordino a little bit bigger, because in the book he's a little bit bigger of a guy. But Steve Zahn was fine. And McConaughey looked like he was having a blast too.
McConaughey, I think, produced that movie, and I know he wanted to do a franchise where he played Dirk Pitt in a lot of movies.
Yeah, but, I think but Cussler just fucked it all up.
Yeah, he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, he passed away. I think he passed away last year. He was 88. I think his son took over the franchise. Yeah,
I am interested to see Clarice. I watched some of the Hannibal. The guy that played Hannibal was awesome in that. I forget.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He was great.
I just don't understand how they could think that Clarice is going to work when they had Hannibal himself with Mads Mikkelsen, and yet it got canceled after 3 years, and then they're going to roll out and they're going to try to make Hannibal work with how's that going to work?
Well, I would imagine this is going to be more like the what was that show with James Spader, The Blacklist?
Yes.
More maybe procedural and.
Yeah, it's dead. That won't last. People don't want to see procedurals anymore. I mean, I think you see the NCIS series. I think you see them as the last true. That and Law and Order are the last two. Dick Wolf. I think those are the last of the procedurals. I just
And
can't.
you had What Missing Persons ran for a while too, I think.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Cold Case is actually a show that we were talking about earlier about the rights being coming out. That's a series that, because I asked Warner Brothers, I said, how come you're not releasing this? And they said, well, it's a nightmare. The music rights is a nightmare.
They can get around that though. I have you remember that show Hunter with Fred Dreyer back in the 80s?
Well, yeah, I do.
Because I have that on DVD, and some of these older shows, you can, because I specifically remember one episode of Hunter having "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Stones playing at the beginning, and it's just some generic song that they put in there, so they can kind of just get around that shit and put generic shit in there.
Well, the only thing what it was about though is that a lot of times the music tied into the plot itself, and so that's what makes it so hard because it rolls with the story.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually put certain episodes, it was just one artist. Like they had a little Rolling Stones episode. It was nothing but Rolling Stones. I want to say they did one with the Beatles, a couple of other ones one with just that one artist. So how would you get around that without ruining the show?
Yeah. But Clarice could be interesting. I don't know if this is the tack they're going to take with Clarice, but it would be interesting if you can see, because one of the things that always bothered me was how, and I love Ridley Scott and I loved Hannibal because it was a Ridley Scott movie and it looked beautiful. And I know this is probably something Thomas Harris covered in the books. I never read them. How did Clarice get to the point after Silence of the Lambs where suddenly she is, the way she was in Hannibal towards him?
I can tell you why. Thomas Harris, he got typecast. He basically got pulled into writing the Hannibal stories. He got pissed off,
and he didn't want to do it.
No, this is his way of trying to alienate everybody by making Clarice into a cannibal. He didn't want to write this. He didn't want to write about Hannibal Lecter anymore.
Because it would be interesting if the show kind of showed how she kind of changed in between those two movies. I don't know if that's what they're planning to do or not, but
no, he just got tired of it. Anything that he released other than Hannibal Lecter didn't do very well because all the fans, and then when he go out and do tours or lectures or whatnot, and on a new book, the only thing people were asking was like, when's Hannibal coming back? And if you're a writer and you're trying to saying I'm more than just that,
So many artists go through that. Like Duchovny, for years, he was pissed off about the X-Files. That's all anybody talked about. And then they seem to get to a point where they just embrace it. Shatner too. Shatner, for years was like, I've done other shit. I'm Shakespearean trained, and all I want to talk about is fucking Star Trek. But then you get to a point where I guess you embrace it.
I tell you, someone who really embraced it, that really, really well, and ran with it and did really well with it was Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
Adam West, he got typecast, right away, but he eventually just said, you know what, screw it. That's how they see me. I'm just going to get paid for it, and that's exactly what he did. He got paid.
Adam West. It's funny. Reject Films was doing his haul, and he mentioned "Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song." And I have a movie by that was Melvin Van Peebles that did that movie. And I have a movie by Mario Van Peebles, his son, about that with Adam West and Rainn Wilson. And Adam West did a lot of other shit besides Batman. Actually, he did some grindhouse movies in the '70s, and that movie. That Mario Van Peebles did was from the early 2000s, and he was actually a good actor.
Yeah, that brings up a great question. Sorry to interrupt.
No, sure.
Brings up a great question. Shinobi.
Yeah.
When the fuck are you gonna start making videos?
Oh.
If I feel like I have something to say,
bro, listen to you, man. You got a lot of knowledge on stuff. We want to see your stuff, man.
Ooh.
I mean, you and I have been carrying this stream already.
I feel bad.
No, actually, I think it's sort of by design, to tell you the truth.
Well, the thing is that I like to hear knowledge about stuff. I don't have knowledge on comics. I wish I did. So that's your guys' thing. And a lot of people in the community like comics. You guys are both knowledgeable about stuff I don't have knowledge of. I like to talk about horror. You guys like other things too. So it's kind of like a good mix. You know what I mean? So
Amanda's saying, Hobbs, have you seen the movie called Legend? That's a great movie with Tom Cruise.
Legend is awesome.
Yeah, that's one of Tim. That's probably one of Tim Curry's better roles. But my favorite Tim Curry role is The Shadow.
And Shinobi,
Yeah,
we're not mad that you're not making videos.
No,
We just want
not
to
at
see what
all.
you got. We just want to see what you got out there.
Hell yeah, Derek.
I have a big new shelving unit scheduled for delivery next week. I'm going to redo all my shit so that when I stream again, I'll have it as a backdrop, so you can actually see all the shit that I have.
Sweet.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Don't sell yourself short, man. You're just like you got all the knowledge, and you can do what we do if you want to. If you want to, we don't force anybody.
I do. I have a friend that I need some help with syncing my Amazon Fire up to my laptop because I had some issues with that. But once I get that done, I can start.
See, Shinobi, you got support in the chat too, Shinobi. See, look.
Yep.
Everybody wants to see it.
Everybody wants to see it.
This community is awesome. Everybody is really generous. And one of the reasons I didn't want to come on last week is I didn't want this spot to be taken up by somebody who isn't a content creator. I wanted content creators to have the opportunity to get exposure. And, I'm somebody that just leeches off of other people's videos. I didn't want to.
No, that doesn't.
No.
That has no bearing.
You're a creator. I mean, if you look at you're creating a stream right here. So I mean, you're a creator.
Well,
you have a YouTube channel. Whether you put videos on it or not doesn't matter. We would like to see them, but that's completely up to you, man. If not, it's all good. You're always.
I appreciate it, brother.
Even David's sitting there going, Shinobi needs to be a regular fisher on the Hobbs Sunday stream.
Well, I mean, I can't disagree. I'll
tell you one thing I'm going to get myself a freaking phone holder by next week.
You know what? I've got 2 or 3 of those too. I should send you one of those.
Yeah, that way I could actually not have my head bob around like a bobblehead.
But carry on, guys. I just wanted to let Shinobi know that you should make videos, man. We love your knowledge. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
And never anybody makes fun of anybody for anything. We always just appreciate everybody, and we understand it can be nerve-wracking too to get on here and talk and to make videos. Actually, if you see Amanda Lewis, she just started making videos again. I mean, she made 1 or 2, but now she's made an intro. She's got videos she's doing. She's new to the community. That's how we build people up. We get more people involved and it gets bigger, So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna check her stuff out.
Yeah, I'll have to go over there and sub to her if I'm not already.
It's just cool to get people involved, and it's a great community. Whether you make videos or not, man, it's up to you. You're always welcome on here. You got fans already that want you to be a regular, so
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
And don't worry about the 2 of you talking. I like to listen. I like to hear you 2 go back and forth about these answers. Because some of the questions in the chat, I can't answer, but you guys are getting it. So. I literally know nothing about comics. I'm just telling you guys up front. Horror, throw it at me, but I know nothing about comics. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
See, that's what David's saying that too. This is what I love about Coast to Coast and this stream and this. It's not strictly limited to horror. Oh God, we can't live on horror by itself. I don't see how anybody can do that. I love horror movies, but I am so much more than just horror movies.
Yeah, and it all feeds into each other too. I mean, look at James Wan, cut his teeth in horror, and now he's doing Aquaman. So it's all,
If you look at all the major streams in the community, dude, it doesn't. Half the time we're talking about other stuff too. So it's all good, guys. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking next week I might have to bring out my 10 favorite Hallmark movies.
And I'll tell you, I got to tell you guys this also. The only reason why I'm not as vocal sometimes is because in my job, I talk all day long. So I tried to, but sometimes it just gets,
You're a phone rep?
I am a phone rep. Yeah.
That's what my job was too. Before I worked at a dental acquisition company that would buy up dental practices and have them all under one kind of clerical corporate roof. And that's what I've done for years, sales and phone customer service stuff. But I
I
know
did it
exactly
for
what you mean.
I did it for 12 hours yesterday.
Mhm.
12 hours.
Yeah, I can talk about music forever. I will share this one. I haven't shared this story. I was going to write about it, but I'll share it with you guys. We were talking about William H. Macy and Boogie Nights earlier. So this is a little bit of a story, if you guys don't mind me telling it.
This is an open stream. You and Shinobi, anybody, anything you guys want to talk about, man. We're not limited to anything. Go ahead.
So back in my booking days, I had a friend of mine named Adrian Calvin, and Adrian was a booker as well, and I learned a lot from him. And I remember I saw on this club was across the street from mine, and lo and behold, I heard that he had booked Henry Rollins to do a spoken word performance, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And so it was on a Sunday, and so I made sure that we were closed because I wanted to go see it. So I went over there, and there's like, probably about 900 people packed in to see him talk. And afterwards, I went up to him. I says, "So, like, how'd you do this? What agency did you talk to?" He says, "I didn't. I looked up in the white pages, found his name, and I called him up at home and asked him if he wanted to do a spoken word performance." So he came up and kicked ass. And I always took that story with me because I was like, wow, it's just, like, that's just balls, just to sit there out of the blue. So a few years later, I'm working at the Edge, which is a 1,000-person venue. And I had a Tuesday night at this club called the Agenda Lounge. It held about 300 people. And I was sitting at the Edge, and maybe about actually, if I took about 250. So I go ahead and I'm at the Edge, and I'm working at my desk, and I look at my buddy Jimmy, who's the head of the office, and I said, I'm gonna gamble on something. I want to book Nina Hartley to do a spoken word performance. And he says, "Do you think you can?" I said, "I think I can." So I had a friend of mine in the business, and I called him up. I says, "I want you to get a hold of Nina Hartley for me because I have a deal for her." And so says, can I get her number? And so my contact calls me back in a couple of days and says, "I got Nina's number for you." I said, "Okay, thanks." So I go ahead and I leave a message for Nina Hartley. And I said, because she didn't know who the hell I was, but I left it on there. And then a couple of days later, we came into the office, and lo and behold, she had called. So she called up. She called me back, and she said she agreed to do a spoken word show for me. So she rolled out about a month and a half later for the show. It was one of the most bizarre shows I ever done in my career. The first thing I'll say about Nina Hartley is that she was one of the nicest people ever. She is such a sweet person. She rolled out with her other friend Howie, who was just as great. He was just a really nice guy.
Now, Nina Hartley was in what band was she in?
Who, Nina?
Yeah.
Nina, she wasn't really in a band. She was in a different kind of industry. She was in the adult industry.
Oh, okay.
But she also had a reputation, but she was a nurse before she became a adult entertainer. And she actually has written books, and she's actually spoken at Cal Berkeley many times about on sex as homosexuality. So she's not just she has a brain. She's very very smart. So, but the freak show, I was not really ready for that. There was a lot of people there that were sort of weird. They were very polite, and they loved watching her. They loved listening to her talk and whatnot. Yeah, and so here I am after the show, and and my buddy Jimmy says, "You got to try to get a smooch off of her." I'm like, "Dude, seriously, you are out of your mind. You're out of your fucking mind." But he laughed at me.
He said, "You got to try to get a spooge off of her."
I gotta get a kiss from her.
Oh.
So he goes, "You got to do that shit." I'm going like, "There's no, come on, seriously." But the show went really, really well. She got a great meal. She was really, really happy. I came downstairs to finish paying off because when you pay your artist half the money before the show, half the money after the show. So I came down to finish paying her off, and she opened the door. I knocked on the door. She opened the door, and she was dead ass naked, just naked as a bird. And came on in there, and I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the windows. I'm looking anywhere but her. She says, "You can look at me." So I gave her the money, and she said she had a great time. She was totally happy, and she says, "Is there anything I could do for you?" Now, of course, a lot of people will sit there and run with that, but being a gentleman that I am, I said, "No, the only thing I would like is just one kiss." And she says, "I could do that, and I was hoping you would ask." And so that's what I did. I got a kiss from Nina Hartley, and then
Wow.
yep, got
Wow.
a big badass kiss from Nina Hartley, naked. And then this is back in the mid '90s when that ass was still fine, and it was. Because she appeared in Boogie Nights. She played William H. Macy's wife.
Oh, you know what? The name was familiar. I was thinking she was like in the band like L7 or something like that. But all right, yeah, the one that William H. Macy kills, and he.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Was she? Yes, because she was actually. She's actually relaxing. Actually, she was actually relaxing because I came downstairs. We came down on the back of the elevator. We came down, and then she went inside, and then I put one security guy on there, and I went upstairs to get the money, and I came back and I relieved the security guy, and then I just knocked on the door because you always do business transactions with the artist out of the public's eye. So I just knocked on the door, and she opened it, and she was bare ass naked. Now she knew damn well it was going to be me or somebody from the club, but me mostly. And so she knew what she was doing.
Now, do you think it was just because she has spent so much time naked that it just doesn't even faze her, or do you think she was?
Doesn't faze her.
Do you think she was looking to do something?
No, God, no. I was just. She says that's when she says I was just. He says you are a perfect gentleman. It says you're not even looking at me. I says no, ma'am. I was just like really shocked.
Yeah. And I'd have been like, oh my.
It was just like, but then when she said, yeah, you can, is there anything I could do for you? And I'm going like, okay, I just got to go. I just got to go for it. So that's what I asked for the smooching. Yeah. But I hear you guys talking about William Macy, and I was just in there. That's my William Macy story. That's my Boogie Nights story.
Well, you never know until you ask. Just like asking people to come and do a spoken word like that. Like I remember Ben Cadaver Club saying at one point, there's one channel, I think Geek Films or something, that doesn't have a very big subscriber base, but he manages to snag some awesome interviews, and he probably should have a much bigger subscriber base. And I remember Ben saying he asked him what he does to get that, and he's just like, well, I just ask.
Yeah,
I just call people and ask.
I'm hoping that will happen for us here at the stream. I want to get a couple more shows in underneath that. But I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to reach out and see about interviewing some people on here. People in the chat think that's a good idea, because I can get some folks to come out here and do some interviews.
I think you should definitely do that. And I mentioned that it is interesting with that American Scarecrow. The story behind why that's been erased from IMDb might be more interesting than the movie itself. Because when I watched your video on that, I did a deep dive trying to find out about it myself, and it's like it's purposely been erased and not out there.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
that was really weird. See, I'm still waiting for Bradley Cooper to show up. I'm waiting for Jennifer Rubin to show up. Hobbs keeps on.
Jennifer Rubin would be awesome.
Oh God, that's Hobbs' dream girl right there.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Is Henry Rollins your favorite front man for Black Flag?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he fronted Black Flag. I don't know who else was.
Now, my one story for Rollins, like I got to meet him at the FX. Super intense guy. I really liked him. He does this one piece called "I Think I Know You." Oh, Jesus Christ, that shit talks. That shit talked to me. I think it talked to everybody. I think if you hear that, I think I know you. That's us. Um, as far as being in the community, being on the outskirts or whatnot. He was like that. So he did his beautiful spoken word piece called "I Think I Know You." But I actually saw him play in the Rollins band. I got invited to a show to see Tool and the Rollins band played at this place called One Step Beyond. So this is fun because, for one thing, Tool's the most boring band live. Oh my god, I could sleep.
I have
in
a
the middle
friend
of
who
the dance floor.
absolutely loves Maynard and Tool and like
Oh.
Pussifer and all of the side projects Maynard does.
They are boring as fuck live, though. I'm sorry, they are boring, and I was just like, ugh. But then Rollins band came on, and let me tell you, there's 1,200 people in that room, and when they came onto the stage, everybody got pushed forward. Everybody got all pushed forward to the front. There was a girl and her boyfriend there, and she was having a great time until that curtain opened. And the next thing you know, she's finding her ass pushed forward, and she starts screaming. She starts screaming even before the first note's played because she's scared shitless. And then when they hit that first note, and that pit just went nuts, and that was just insane. That was an absolutely insane pit, and but I don't know how many guys have been in a pit. I'm sure a lot of them have.
I've definitely been in the pit for sure.
Now
I've been in a half-ass pit.
Now you know how the rules of the pit are, right? You keep your elbows down, keep your elbows down, and your ass never hits the floor. If someone falls, you pick them up, no matter who they are. I mean, they could be your worst enemy, but if their ass hits the floor, you pick them up. That's pit etiquette. Well, and then the pit's going around. I mean, it's savage. It's savage. And but there's this guy, he's sitting on the outside, and what he's doing is as people are coming by, he's hitting them, right? So the people going on the outside of him, as you coming by, you're getting socked. Now I'm sitting on the outside, and going around and around, and I've seen this guy. I'm seeing him. He's hitting people. Some jock guy, and sure enough, here I come around, and he slugs the shit out of me in my back, right? Well, of course, you're in the pit, so you can't stop there and talk about it. You got to keep going. But I turned around because I wanted to see who this motherfucker was, because he just got done cracking me, right? Now I'm turning around, and he's looking at me, and he's pointing at me, right? He's pointing at me as I'm going away from the pit. What he doesn't see is the guy coming around, and he crushes him. Absolutely just destroys him. By the time I came around, the security were there, and they were helping him out of the pit, out of the side of the crowd, because he just got destroyed. So after the show's over, I happened to see the guy who did the crushing, and then I went over and says, "I want to buy you a beer." He says, "Dude, you don't have to buy me any beer. I know who you are. You always take good care of the bands." Dude, that was like my first time I ever got like celebrity treatment. I was like, you know who I am? He says, "Hell yeah, you work at the Edge. I got you covered. I saw what that fucker did, and I was going to pay him back," and that's what he did. But yeah, Ron.
And that asshole that sucker punched you was Glenn Danzig, right?
Yeah, probably. All I know is that was the Rollins band live, absolutely crazy fun. One of the best bands I ever saw.
He seems like a good dude too.
Who would your dream guest be? Who would I want to talk to right now? Joe Lynch.
He's the director of what, VFW and.
That's Joe Bagels. I'd like to interview Joe Lynch. He did the Knights of Badassdom.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did see Veronica. Yeah, that was. I actually have some of the comic books that Glenn Danzig had a comic book series or a comic book company, and I guess he probably still does. Veronica was the name of it. And in the 90s, he did a series called Veronica. And yeah, that's a pretty shitty movie. The next movie he's doing is with the guy who was in Hunter x Hunter and the Fanatic with Travolta and Final Destination.
Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa, yeah. So Danzig's next movie is with Devon Sawa. And
Yeah,
Devon Sawa was doing, what's that?
Devon Sawa's making a bit of a comeback. He's been popping up lately.
Yeah, I guess Devon Sawa signed on to this Danzig movie before the comeback began because they were asking him, they were like, did you see Danzig's last movie? It was voted like the worst movie of the year in 2019.
Oh, wow.
And he said, yeah, I did. And he goes, I'm hoping for the best. So he kind of lost his enthusiasm for working with Danzig once he had seen that.
My favorite act I've seen live is Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, David's a big fan. He's got the poster in the back, I think, when he does his videos. They are good. I have some stuff by them.
Hobbs disappeared on us again, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're down to I got five watching. You want to think about wrapping it up? I know some of these guys got to get up early in the morning.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to keep Hobbs up late because last time he said that. David took that.
Yeah, I guess we could stay until he pops back up, and then we'll let him close it. I think he has to close it.
He does. Yeah, last time he left it playing for a little while afterwards, and
I saw that. I didn't realize that. I thought once I left, I thought that was out. I didn't know that I had to get out. Like I thought I did, and then the next thing you know, I look back at the stream and go like, why am I still on here? I was downstairs.
Yeah.
And I went to get my phone, and then I saw the chat was still alive. I was like, whoop. I didn't want to do that. Well, yeah. Well, so the big goal is to watch Sinister.
Yes, and I'm going to watch Baytown Outlaws, so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my shelves so I have easy access to all my shit. Have my wild because I realized I do have some Wild Eye stuff, and I have A24. I want to reorganize all that so it's easily accessible. I got so much shit. I got to get it all under control here.
You want to do a Baytown watch? I mean, I can call you up, and then we can sit in there and watch the movie, and then see what's going on. It'll be an old fashioned. It'll be old fashioned. We'll be doing it on the phone.
Yeah, I saw Dave say earlier that he and Cody, I forget what movie it was, but they did a watch together in the movie.
Yeah, we don't have. Unfortunately, we don't have the stream up, but I mean, we can still do it via the phone if you're up to it. Yeah, it's a fun movie. All right, so we got Baytown Outlaws, and then Sinister. What are you gonna be watching this week, Hobbs?
I've got Hereditary.
Oh,
I still haven't seen it.
Okay.
And then I've got some independent stuff. I can't remember the damn name of it, but I ordered some stuff a long time ago, like 3 or 4 months ago. Even stuff from Presents I've gotten, I still haven't got to. All the stuff that people have sent me, I haven't got to because I've been working so much.
Since we didn't watch together, we were watching the same movie at the same time. Yeah, that's what we'll do too. We'll just put on movies on set together, starting it together, and just talk through the phone at the movie as it
sounds
plays.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like we'll have some good stuff to talk about then next week.
Yeah, we thought we'd let you go ahead and close out the show, Hobbs.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I had a few charge issues tonight, but it'll be fixed by next weekend. Everybody, thanks for coming on, and
thank you
so
so
much,
much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Not a problem. And Shinobi, think about making videos if you want to. If not, it's all good, man.
I'm thinking about it.
You're always welcome on the chat. All right. Everybody have a great evening and a good week.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Take care. Bye.